All right, what's good? What's good? What's good? Hope y'all doing well. Hold on one second. Let me move this up. What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? What is good, everybody? Hold on, man. Let me move up. I know y'all late this morning. I mean, I was actually a little bit late this morning. Cal L. Coolid in the building. What's going on, man? Caesar TMG said, off with their heads for 9. Yes, sir. It said, hit that like button as soon as you come in. Come on, man. Hit that like button as soon as y'all hit this door, man. TBE is TBE. What's going on, man? Tony T in the building. What's happening? Double zeros. What's going on, man? Salute. Who you got? Shakur versus Tank. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna tell you flat out. I don't know. Hey, Kenyon S. Smith said November 20th. You heard it here first. All right, man. Let it be November 20th, man. I mean, you got a 1-4 shot in November. Actually, that makes a lot of sense, really. I certainly hope so. What's going on, Kenyon Smith, big homie? What's going on, man? We're gonna have a panel this morning. Provided these guys actually hop up early enough this morning to do it. Shavel Solomon in the building. What's going out there in Baltimore, man? Big Ray in the building. What's good? Rise Podcast. What's happening with you? What's happening with you? See, I'm good in the morning, man. I'm good in the morning. I tried to get up early, man, but start my show a little earlier this morning. Be on time with it. Trey Bricks, I was supposed to get a wrench. What's up with that? Were you, Trey Bricks, supposed to get a wrench? Were you? Where was the wrench? When was the wrench voting ceremony, man? Did I miss it? I hope I didn't. But I don't mind giving you one, man. Just stick tight for a minute. Philip P. Flame Wallen in the building said, no way in the hell is Garcia versus Davis a better or more exciting, more generating fight than Bud versus Spence. No way in hell. Hey, man. That's what they saying. That's what they saying. Floyd said Gervonta is the biggest. He's the biggest name of boxing, man. Gervonta is the biggest name in boxing, man. Chevel Salone, Baltimore all day. What is that? Oh, okay. That you talking about somebody else. Somebody's name is Chevel Solomon. I said Shalom. I said Chevel Salone. I'm bugging, man. I'm bugging this morning. Said Bob Arum is out there starting the Dev Cam 2 press conference with Dev hollering Cap. Somebody lying. Let me tell you who lying. If Bob Arum started the press conference, Bob Arum ain't lying. Hey, Herbert Johnson in the building. Hey, much love in that super chat, bro. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for the day off fund, bro. Thank you for the take a day off. Forgive an old broke old man a day off, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, bro. Big Jag in the building. What's going on, man? He is outside of Spence. What's that mean, Ray Jackson? What you mean, man? For 9, Floyd is turning into Bob Arum. Just gonna call him Floyd Arum now. Man, Floyd is, hey, man, look, tell you something, man. I like me some Bob Arum, bro. I'm telling you, I like Bob Arum. I know when Bob Arum is full of shit sometimes, a lot of times. But I like Bob Arum, man. Bob Arum is in his old age. Bob Arum is compared to Eddie Hearn. It's like I didn't like him at all until I saw Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn is the worst. Okay. Hey, TJ Boxing said, good morning. So is Dev going to fight Kambosos? Loma's clearly for Shakur, according to Bob. Look, man, of course he's going to fight Kambosos, man. Of course he's going to fight Kambosos. Hey, much love in that super chat, brother. Of course, man. Of course he is. Of course he is. We all know he is. I don't understand why people acting like something else is going to happen. What day and what stadium? Hey, man, maybe that's up in the air. But I have a suspicion that Devin Haney may not have read his email or something. I don't know, because it may not be up to him. Like, say, so they may just be like, look, oh, hey, Kambosos, this is when it is. Okay, great. We'll be there. Announce it, because Devin's going to be there or he's going to be in court, one or the other. Herbert Johnson said, my bad, up getting this overtime. Salute. Oh, that's what's up, bro. Herbert Johnson, get that overtime, bro. What was this? What is this? You always give your members from Chicago That ain't right, man. Why you always giving your members from Chicago? That ain't right. What do you mean? Man, I can't tell where people are from, man. What do you mean? I got a bias from Chicago? What you talking about? The Don Falon McKnight. What's going on, brother? Mr. Positive Surratt. What's good, man? Tony T said they had a smaller stadium for this time for sure. I don't know what you mean by that. I'm kind of lost on that whole conversation. So I won't comment on it. But as far as whether or not these guys going to fight, bro, come on, man. Let's not fake the funk, all right? Let's not fake the funk. We know this fight with George Kambosos is about to happen. There's a big feeding frenzy in the media where Gervonta is getting a bunch of free press, Ryan Garcia is getting a bunch of free press, and it's just not there. Devin just can't take advantage of that free press right now because he's busy. But don't worry about it, because once he whoops Kambosos and he whoops Lomachenko or what's his name, Nakathila or somebody like that, dude, he'll be right back out there ready to go again, man. He'll be out there ready to go. Just gotta be patient, man. Just gotta be patient. You know, it'll be there. It'll be there for Devin, man. It'll be there because he's a great fighter. You know, all of that talk, all the having to shun Devin fans, exaggerations and disrespect for other fighters aside, it's going to be there for that kid because that kid can really fight, man. Ryan Johnson said, "Who has Ryan fought to get a fight with Gervonta? Nobody. He doesn't have to. It's how many tickets he sold to get him a fight. But he actually has good wins. He has Fortuna. He has Luke Campbell. Those are good wins. Ryan Garcia is a legit world-class fighter, man. He's a legitimate world-class fighter, man. Javier Fortuna is not an easy fight, and neither is Luke Campbell. And he got those wins, so, you know, it is what it is, man. Kenyon L. Smith in the buildings. Smith said, Ryan got to chill, disrespecting the vets that paved the way. He beat a 33-year-old 130-pounder off a loss, beating on his chest like he accomplished some great feat. Hey, man, it is what it is, man. He's talking himself up, man. Everybody else talks themselves up. I'm pro Ryan, bro. I'm pro Ryan. Pro Ryan Garcia. I say go ahead and talk your talk so you can hurry up and get knocked out. Because if he ain't about it, he's talking himself into an ass whooping. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I understand why he's doing it, because he's trying to make a bunch of money. You know, just like everybody else is doing it, man. Everybody else is doing it before they got there, except for Tank. Tank wasn't doing it before he got his belt. Nobody heard Tank before Tank got that belt. Tank popped up out of nowhere and got that money. Just a fan said, I wonder why they waited almost 2 months to book the rematch. Should have been a quick turnaround. It's not very long. It's not a very long amount of time to book a rematch. You know it's going to be within 6 months. You know they're going to take some time in between the two fights to schedule those fights. I don't think it's that big a time. I don't think it's that long a time. You know, I don't think it's that long a time. But you know, just make it happen. Like, what do you think? It's supposed to happen next week or something? You're trying to find a way out of it for him. You're trying to find a way out of that Kambosos, that hellified Kambosos fight. What's going on? Big Ray in the bill said, facts for nine. You know it. TB said, but Ryan talks himself out of props and scared to fight. I don't know, man. He'll fight. I mean, what's all the Ryan hate, man? I still don't get it, man. I think it's the disproportion. He does talk a lot of smack, though. He does talk a little bit of smack. But I don't get it, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it, man. What's with the Ryan, consistent Ryan hate, man? I don't get it. I think the kid's a decent fighter. You know, it's not his fault that he looks like, you know, it's not his fault that he looks like a 14-year-old, you know, like he's getting his tattoos. He's trying to make himself look a little older, man. Big time Key Sinatra in that super chat. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. We're out here this morning doing this on the grind, man, doing the work. Say good morning, Fanon. I really appreciate your channel and all the good people in Boxing Talk within it. I put on my earphones in the morning and take a 6-mile walk while listening. Much love all to the chat. Hey, man, Keith, that is what's up, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you. Hey, my man, thank you, brother. Thank you for that support, man. It's big, man. Thank you. That $20, that's a lot, man. I appreciate it, man. Like, I don't get reds, and we don't get reds and oranges and stuff around here a whole lot. Oranges we almost never get reds, but I appreciate y'all, man. Tyro Williams said, Bill Haney got a problem with you? No, Bill Haney doesn't have a problem with me, man. No. Bill Haney loves me, man. Bill Haney loves and appreciates me, man. Bill Haney loves and appreciates me, bro. You better believe it, man. Bill knows, man. Don't believe the act. Don't believe the act. Bill Haney respects me, and I respect Bill Haney, bro. And I know he does. So it is what it is. Hey, man. Larry King Larry said, for 9, why is it hard for Haney fans to understand that Tank is a WBA champion and Devin is a WBA super champ? Well, look, man, in defense of all Devin Haney fans, that belt doesn't mean anything to him. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean anything to him. And that's reasonable that it doesn't mean it to him. It's a secondary belt. You know? Devin is the king of the lightweight division. No belts. He is the king of the 135 divisional belts. That's what he is. So he has all of the belts, and nobody else gets to call themselves champion. That's very fair. Nobody at 147 is really talking about Amantis Stanionis having the WBA regular belt. I mean, it's a WBA regular belt. It's not a major championship belt. So he is rightfully not impressed by that. And I mean, why should he be? He's got the WBA super. He's got all the major championship belts. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. That's just, he deserves that. That's a reality. See, like I'm telling you, I'm over here living in reality, man. I'm over here living in reality. And the reality of the matter is that, bro. Copper Aborigines, what's going on, man? He said, good morning, Fanon, man. You looking good, bro. The wife is really taking care of you. Much praise to her. The real champ. Yes, sir. Yeah. Well, my wife's been out of town, man. But yeah, she takes good care of me. I've been taking good care of myself, too. Making sure I get my sleep. I go to sleep at night. I try to eat reasonably. Got me some exercise yesterday, running around the basketball court. Not actually playing because I can't make no hard cuts with my raggedy ass knees I got. But, you know, busting a sweat, hitting some jumpers, running, dribbling up and down the court. All that kind of fun stuff, man. So, yeah, man, I feel good, man. I feel good. Absolutely, positively. We're going to have some guests this morning, though. So, people get up slow on Saturday morning. Ray Jackson said, why is it that everybody looking past Jaron Ennis? I don't think anybody is looking past him, man. Everybody's looking at him and know they don't want to come around that dude. They're hoping he goes away, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, Hubbard, cut that like button, man. Yes, sir. Hit that like button. Matter of fact, let me get on over here, man. Let me get on over yonder. Let me get on over yonder. All right. Hold on one second. Yeah, man, come on. We got 127 likes, man. Come on, hit them like buttons, man. Hit them like buttons, man. Boots is a problem. Big risk, no reward. Almost worse than that. He's a big problem. He's a guaranteed loss, is what that is. He's a guaranteed loss. Big risk is one thing. Guaranteed loss is something else, man. Good morning, Fanon. I'm glad you're exercising because I'm 60-year-old and because I'm 63 years old and I exercise every morning. Great live stream, brother. Thank you, bro. Yeah, man, I'm out there dribbling around, moving around, getting my heart rate up. Absolutely, bro. But I'm really, really on my diet. Just to tell you the truth, I kind of screwed it up yesterday, but I'm really on my diet and realizing, hey, man, I got to take care of what I put in my system. Strive for Greatness said, I know one guy Tank will not knock out, and that is Shakur Stevenson. I don't know that for sure, but I think that is a really great fight, man. That's a really great fight, man. Really, really, really great fight, man. Shakur and Gervonta, if Shakur gets past Lomachenko, because Lomachenko ain't no easy out, man. I just wonder how Bob Arum's going to get rid of Devin. That's what I'm on. How is that going to work? Hey, Deborah Booker said, good morning. You're looking good, happy. You're doing better, way better, man. I'm way better. Deborah Booker, much love in that super chat. Yes, way better. Way better. I fought through COVID, man. I was fighting through COVID all last week. 10 days of fighting through COVID. And then the day before yesterday, I woke up and it was like maybe a little bit of a relapse of it or something. I don't know what it was, man, but I was in a terrible mood the morning before last. I'm looking forward to today because we're going to get these people on these links, on the links to do this for these guys to argue with each other, which is always fun to listen to. Hey, but Deborah Booker, thank you so much for your support in that super chat. It means a ton. Thank you. Just a fan said, for now, what do you think about Andrade video? That I thought it was kind of alarming. I didn't see it. What happened in Demetrius Andrade's video? I didn't see it. I must have been out of it. I didn't watch it. So I can't, there's nothing I can tell you. Tony T said, didn't Devin sign a 3-fight deal? He's gonna have to see Loma next, I'd assume. Yeah, that's what I'd assume, and I do believe it is. I do believe it's that it is 2 options that he has on him. 2 options that Top Rank has. Probably not. They probably were going to do 1. So similar to what they did with Jeff Horn. What do I think of Brian Norman Jr.? I mean, I don't know a lot. I haven't really seen Brian Norman Jr. I've listened to a lot. I've listened to what his father said about sparring. I've listened to what people have been talking about sparring, about what's going on in sparring. Other than that, I mean, I really can't say something. Bala said, are you vaccinated? I had COVID and it was nothing. I've had worse colds. Yeah, I'm vaccinated. I need to get my boosters, but yeah, I was vaccinated, which is why I was a little lighter. I've definitely had worse fevers, but that shit that was not feeling good though. I'll tell you that, no doubt. Yeah, but yeah, Copper Aborigines, that's where I am with Boots. It's like, it's a guaranteed loss for these guys. I don't think those guys think they can beat that kid. I mean, they can all say that they think they can, but I don't believe they think they can. Not like, unless you're talking about maybe Speedy Rashidi Ellis, Errol, and Terrence. But a lot of those guys, especially like, if you're talking about like a Danny Garcia, you're talking about guys that already have losses. No, man, those guys are probably looking at him like, no, thank you, bro. He said, I ate like ish last night and slept like shit. Yeah, it'll do it, bro. Yeah, man, it'll do it. But I've been watching my diet a little bit better, man. I like yesterday. I've been watching my diet better. I've been watching it a lot better. I did get some Pop-Tarts off yesterday, though, which is like, man, I can't stand when people bring Pop-Tarts into my house. Every time they bring Pop-Tarts in my house, I just make my way to the Pop-Tarts. Untoasted Pop-Tarts. Hate it. I hate them when they're in the house because I love to eat them. Crazy. They don't even taste that good. Just love to eat them. Untoasted Pop-Tarts. All up in the house. So, I wish they wouldn't do that. But it is what it is, man. My stomach messing me up. Oh, all due respect, but Ellis, don't put Ellis in the conversation with them. Great. Why not, man? Speedy Rashidi Ellis is a good fighter. He probably does believe in himself. I'm not saying that I think Speedy Rashidi Ellis is going to beat him. I'm just telling you. He said, Pop-Tarts elite, man. Your diet is your lifespan. Yeah, man. It's the diet, man. Because you can work your way. Because I'm actually in fairly decent shape. Like, I spent a good amount of time lifting, getting strong, all that. But I just keep a layer of fat on me because of my diet. And I want this layer of fat up off me, man. So I just got to change my diet, man. And change how much I'm eating and all that. And I've been doing pretty good, man. Andrade looked either drunk or punch drunk. He was calling out Chris Eubank, and it was difficult to listen to. Oh, no, I didn't hear him, but I doubt if maybe he was drunk. I don't think but he always kind of got that kind of slurish kind of talk to him. But I always figured that's because of where he's from and not anything else, man. Speedy is a good fighter. Yeah, man. Speedy Rashidi Ellis is a good fighter, man. I would say, look, man, Boots is not somebody that's undefeatable, He's not like, it's not like it's impossible for somebody to do. You know what I mean? He wasn't drunk. Okay, that's actually had gut cleared out of shape. What? Oh, Andrade actually had a gut clearly out of shape. Well, yeah, maybe he is out of shape, man. It's a shame what's happened to him, man. As far as him getting opportunities and all that, man. That dude is like, I don't know, man, just made some funny business decisions in his career. And I think a lot of his business decisions really are what, affected him, man. Really, made it a little more difficult for him to get to be the big name fighter that he wants to be. I think he should have probably signed with Al Heyman. I'm telling you, man, look, man, this boxing stuff is racial. The Mexican dudes, a lot of them can't sign with Oscar. They sign with anybody. Mexican cats can sign with anybody. They got the best of everything. They can sign. Everybody signs them and works with them. PBC works with them. Golden Boy works with them. Top Rank works with them. The only people the Mexicans in a little bit of trouble with is over there with Eddie Hearn. Because they be whooping Eddie Hearn's fighters up, bro. So I think he's going to learn to stay clear of the Mexicans. But everybody else, man, Mexicans get a good shot, pretty much wherever they go, man. Black fighters, for the most part, though, dude, if you're like an Olympian, you can get you a little work in over there at Top Rank if you're like an Olympian. You know what I mean? If you are, and then the PBC, besides Spence and Crawford, what fighter do you see being able to beat Boots? Jermell, maybe Jermell, maybe Jermell and Jermell. The ones off the top of my head. Maybe Jermell and Jermell. I mean, I'll take Jaron over Speedy Rashidi. But I would think, Jermell, like at 154, Jermell would be a tough fight for him. Fundora might be a tough fight for him at 154. I don't think Tszyu would. But yeah, like that level of guy, man, like the top guy, Derevyanchenko. And you talk about at 160, like if he went all the way up to, I still think he beat Derevyanchenko. I don't know, Golovkin. Somebody, if he went up to 160 and fought Golovkin, and Golovkin still has something about himself, you know what I mean? Dawn said Tszyu is gonna beat Jermell down. Man, you are bugging. Man, that dude was getting pieced up. That dude was getting pieced up by Terrell Goshaw. Heck no, man. That dude is made to order. Man, that dude is made to order. Tszyu is made to order for Jermell Charlo. Made to order. First of all, he's going to get, man, he's not about to sit up there and load up on that dude. Man, that dude is made to order. He's made, let me repeat this, made to order for that dude, man. Yeah, after he got off the ground, right? He looped him 11-0 when he got up off the ground. What round was that? What round was that where he had to get up? I'm pretty sure, didn't Terrell Goshaw drop him? Whatever, man. You could, whatever, Don. Don't say it too often. I'm not in the mood for stupidity, man. Okay? Tszyu is about to be a punching bag. All right? Tszyu is about to be a punching bag. He's slow as molasses. He's easy to hit. And Jermell Charlo is about to be teeing off on that kid. And he better be careful, or if he does, so he don't get knocked out. All right. Keith Thurman versus Boots. We'll see how the verdict goes on Boots. Yes, sir. He said he just fantasizing. I mean, come on, man. What would convince you that what have you seen in Tszyu to tell you Tszyu is about to beat Jermell? What? Well, I don't see it. He seems to me to be like a kind of a slow plotting fighter that's got good power, who's got good power, but is very susceptible to a guy that has faster hands and hits harder. And Jermell has faster hands and he hits harder. So just off that basic, Jermell is a lot faster, a lot more experienced, hits harder. I'm not buying it, bro. You know what I mean? You never know, Fanon. Vernon Forrest got beat by Mayorga twice and stopped him. Yeah, okay. Vernon Forrest did get stopped by Mayorga. He did. So anything is possible. That is true. But I'm not about to. Man, I do seriously, man. Like that type of comment. Zim is made like a Terminator. Okay, yeah. The Terminator loses every movie, man. Just so you know, at the end of every Terminator movie, the Terminator dies. At the end of every movie, the Terminator dies. So he can be built like a Terminator. That doesn't mean he ain't gonna die. at the end of the fight. Okay, because they always do. Every single solitary one of them died at the end. I saw the Terminator movies. They always die. Alien, they always die. All right, so use a different example, bro. Trey Bricks in the bill said Derek James breeding them killers and people want to see him lose. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they want to see them. They want to see them L's, man. But them L's, it's going to be tough on them L's coming, man. It's going to be tough on you getting them L's out of him, man. OZ Boxing 22 said there's no way any version of Tszyu beats Jermell. I mean, I guess he could clip him. I guess he could clip him. And, it's just kind of what happens, man. It could happen. But I'm not going in there thinking that Tszyu is about to beat him. I've watched Tszyu fight. I don't believe him, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe it. I think and especially with him being Costa Tszyu's son, I double don't believe it. Okay? You let me know the last big name fighter with a son that turned out to be beating world champions. Let me know. I don't remember. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Floyd Mayweather. Is that the last one to actually be like, come out there and do something like that? Man, I'm not buying that, man. I'm not buying that. And I'm not buying the Jose, what's his name? The Julio Cesar Martinez. What's his name? Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. move. Like, I'm not buying it, bro. Conor Benn is going to be the next one. Nah, Conor Benn is going to be the next one to do just like the rest of them. He's going to be the one that's just like the rest of them. Maybe Chris Eubank. Chris Eubank is halfway decent. So why was it so hard for Gary Russell and his brothers to fight with big names? Because they didn't want to fight them. Because they didn't want to lose. And I don't know if it's hard for his brother to fight big names yet. They're getting names. They're getting their name. They're getting names. I mean, but nah, man, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying it until I see it. And I've seen the guy fight. I don't know. Honestly, I'm kind of Corey Spinks. Yeah, Corey Spinks. But Corey Spinks was before Mayweather. Corey Spinks was before Mayweather. He's older than Mayweather. So Mayweather would be the last. But yeah, Corey Spinks. Yeah, no doubt. Corey Spinks was Leon Spinks' son. So yeah, that's one right there. Yeah. The Spinks. But, hey, Gene Gomez, what's going on, bro? How you feeling, man? How you feeling? We're going to wait for these guys to showing up to the chat this morning. Everybody gets up late. Lawrence Johnson said, when a Derek James going to get trainer of the year since Canelo lost, Eddie lost, most of his fighters, he should be a shoe-in. No, he's not going to be a shoe-in. He's not going to be a shoe-in. But if he wins, if Arrow fights Terrace and he wins, there's no way he can't get it. There's almost no way they can't get it. Benjamin Newsom, Fanon, didn't Antoine Russell beat Boots? Yeah, in the amateurs. In the amateurs, he beat him. Larry King said Fanon, it's T.O. and his father. Oh, man, that's hilarious, man. Man, you guys got the questions this morning. I like Frank, man. I like Frank Martin. This looks like a really good young fighter, man. Absolutely, man. Looks like a really great fighter, man. They be hating on that whole camp from trainers to fighters. Look, man, they're targeted, man. They're targeted because they're what's going on, They're targeted, man. They're targeted, and it is what it is. But there's worth problems, man. They could not talking about them at all, man. Those guys have been on top of the game for a lot of years too, man. Arrow's been a champion for like 5 years. Arrow's been a champ. What's he been the IBF champion for like 5 years? He's had a very long reign at 147 pounds, man. A very long reign. And Jermell has been a champion for a very long time too. Now he lost his belt and got it back against Tony Harrison in that rematch. But man, these guys have been champions for a long time. I would not underestimate them too quickly. Deborah Booker said that has nothing to do with Jermell, Charlo, and Tszyu. I hate when people do that. Those are two different Pinehurst. Jermell, Charlo will be pound Tszyu every day. Will beat Tszyu every day of the week, twice on Sunday. No doubt about it, man. Oh, that was tough. It was tough on got some typos in that, Deborah. Had to translate that. Big C, yeah, does Jermell have something going on? Look, let me tell you something, Big C Senior. Will you stop complaining in my comment section, man? Jesus. Man, bro, seriously, I read your comments, man. Will you stop complaining about every Terrence Crawford video I do, man? Lord have mercy, dude. I just want to let you know that, man. Dog, I read your comments, bro. I would love to talk to you in the comment section, bro. You got to stop being complaining all the time, man. That shit gets old, man. I'm telling you, that shit gets old, bro. I am very fair to Terrence Crawford, man. Very, very fair to Terrence Crawford, bro. It is very obvious you watch the video, you read the title. You read the title and you don't watch the video. Like, seriously, man. Yeah, I guess she gets old, bro. Hey, Nate's Boxing. Hey, we need some Fanon Boxing Channel shirts. Yeah, man, we got the merch coming, man. We got the merch coming. It's just weird, man, because it costs money to put that stuff up there, man. You gotta sell a lot of t-shirts to make that worth it. I just want to say, Big C Senior, bro, your comments are read. So I don't know why you be taking shots at me in the comment section like I don't read it. You know what I mean? Anyway, that should be irritating me, man. You're negative every Terrence Crawford video. Dude, I'll be positive about Terrence Crawford, man. And you don't listen to the video, man. You just read, I don't even know what you be talking about sometimes. Like another Terrence, you go hating on Terrence again. Dude, I just said this man can win the fight. I literally did a whole video talking about how this guy can, a partner of mine said he's going to win the fight. Like $20. They're like 20-something dollars, double zeros for the mugs because it costs money. It costs a lot of money to ship them. But that's shipping included and all that, I do believe. Just a fan, if he hates every video, he should make a channel. Look, man, just a question for Nine. Bayless, stop crying. It's all funny. What you said? Just answer the question for Nine. Bayless. Oh, no, fuck you, bro. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you right now. Get the fuck out of my life. Fuck you and get out of my life. I'm not answering shit from you. Excuse my language. Like I said, bro, I've been answering questions for you in the chat for a while. So that disrespect you got in them videos, no, man, I'm not answering nothing for you, man. Go talk to somebody else about boxing, man. You know what I'm saying? Go talk boxing to somebody else that you got enough respect for to treat in halfway respectful manner, man. I'm not talking boxing with you, man. Go away. Shoot, the way I see it, it's a privilege to talk boxing to people, man. There ain't a lot of people that want to talk boxing that are available. So somebody wants to chop it up with you about a sport and it's tough, dog, maybe you should treat them with a little respect, man. Maybe be a little bit polite to them, man. Maybe they don't feel like getting you. Maybe they don't feel like being the dog you kicked that morning. You know what I mean? So nah, dog. No, I'm not answering nothing of yours. Come back under another name, bro, and act like you somebody. Act like somebody that I'd actually want to talk to, man. Y'all think some of y'all clowns think, oh yeah, my whole job, it's my job to sit here and be abused by you, man. No, it's not. I don't have to sit here and be abused by you, man. I see you leave a comment and funky ass comment in the comment section. I'm blocking you. Get out of my life, man. I'm not here to be kicked. You know what I mean? It's just boxing. It's just boxing. You act like I'm trying to take your abortion rights away or something. Anyway, bro. What's in the cup is coffee, man. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. It's 8:51 a.m. on Saturday morning, brother. And I'm in a coffee cup. Veterans United. Shout out to Veterans United. Home loans. You say Fanon, you should sell punching bags to these trolls. Trolls a new target. Exactly, bro. Man, that guy is trolling. He knows you're not hating on Crawford. He just wants attention. It might be your RuPaul. We all know. Nah, that's a particular dude. That's a particular dude, bro. So I love the energy this morning. Good morning. What's going on? Jose Jimenez in the building. What's good, brother? Zay, should not have to keep explaining yourself. Real fans know your profession. Look, man, here the thing is, bro. It's just like sometimes you got to remind people, man. I'm not your dog to be kicked. And people in the comment section, I see your comments in the videos, man. I'm not your dog to be kicked. You know what I'm saying? I don't need that. I don't have to put up with that stuff. You serve to serve. No. I just support, bro. No. I just support, man. And I make sure I support because I used to have a different opinion about the military than I do now. Because I separated it, the mission. I can separate now the mission from the people. And some military cats, I just got a lot of respect for them. And I know that their government treats you like crap after you get out. So the best I can do is support you in any way possible that I can, you know. Gone said, you think Ryan Garcia is an Instagram fighter? Absolutely not. Ryan Garcia is a real stuff. He said, for now, we're not here for you. We tune in for the gong. Oh, yes, sir. Well, let me get that gong. Much love in that super chat, brother. Much love in that super chat. Thank you, bro. You picking Spence, that's a wise choice. Look, man, David Benavidez a BCF for sure, man. For sure he is. Absolutely, positively. I'm waiting for Terry Schmoot to arrive. Oh, there's Terry Schmoot. There my man Terry Schmoot is. Elton Spence is at top of the morning for 9. You think it's realistic for Haney and Stevenson to go 12 rounds with Tank and not get hit flush? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't believe it's realistic that they're going to go 12 rounds and not get hit flush by that guy. No, don't. They get hit flush by everybody in every fight. So they're going to get hit flush, bro. You know? But as far as Ryan Garcia, is he an Instagram fighter? No, he's a real fighter. He's a real fighter. He's a real boxer. You know, his chin is up in the air still. That's for sure. However, no, he's a legit real fighter, man. All this talking that he's doing about Tank is clout chasing, though. That is 100% clout chasing. Buzz 703, much love in that super chat. Thank you, Buzz. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Fanon, do you think Kambosos? Oh, I'm sorry, that flew on me. Hold on, let me back up. Fanon, do you think Kambosos will come into the rematch quiet and win more than 3 rounds? And no, I don't. And I think Devin is going to probably miss a gigantic opportunity. He needs to beat that guy up, man. He needs to beat that guy up, man. I'm telling you. It's unfortunate that that's what it is, but that is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate that that's what it is, but that's what it is. He needs to beat that guy up, man. I hope he beats that guy up. You know, so we can really get some Devin Haney fans excited. You know, and so they got a real reason to be talking. Oh, your boy's scared because he's going to get knocked out like that. You know? So hey, what's going on? Damn mess. What's going on? I said DC in the building. That's what's up, man. Shout out to DC, man. Yeah, that's what I would love to see him stop the guy this time, man. TBE is TBE. What's good, bro? Thank you so much for that support in the chat, bro. TBE is TBE said, I really want the Thurman Ennis fight. Take the pay hit for giving Keith his early retirement. A star is born in Ennis. Yeah, man, he's not going to fight him, man. No way, man. Whoa, my volume. Y'all tell me about my volume. Y'all didn't tell me my volume was low. Y'all are true troopers, man. My volume was on next to nothing. My volume was on next to nothing, and I didn't see anybody say something about my volume. That's what's up. Yeah, I would love to see it too, but I don't see that, man. Jermell and Charlo and Andrade who wins. My inclination is is Andrade. My inclination is Andrade. Andrade, I think, is a very difficult fight for anybody to beat. Oh, the volume is fine on my end. Okay, that's what's up, man. Yeah, well, I just turned it up, so hopefully it's not too loud on you now, you know. But you guys have volume where you guys can turn it up and down, bro. You know. Oh, thank you, Double R. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that, man. Nate's Boxing Nation, Jermell. I don't know, man. I got these guys giving me. Ricardo Medina said, your volume is loud as hell. You got a live mic. Yeah, I'll turn it down a little bit. Hey, H-Town in the building. What's going on? I said, salute Fanon. Thank you for supporting us veterans all day, brother. Much love in that super chat, bro. All day, bro. Kenny still said, yeah, I had my volume maxed out. Yeah, I needed to turn up a little bit because I know some people may have, may not have as much, might not have as much power on that volume on whatever they're listening in, I hit a like for, hey, thank you, Paul Cerner, man. Make sure y'all hit that like. Yeah, man, hit that like button, man. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Just Van, I don't even have my Bluetooth connected and the volume's been fine the whole stream. Okay, that's what's up. Yeah. So I wonder, are y'all gonna jump on? Let me put this stream. I'm gonna put the link in. I'm gonna wait a little bit more, couple more seconds. I'll put the link in the stream, man. Copper Aborigine says September, you can go to a Ford dealer and get information on it now. Goes on sale sometimes in September. What is that, man? Nate's Boxing Nation said favorite rap group from the early 90s? Group? Wu-Tang Clan. Wu-Tang. Probably followed by Cypress Hill after that. Wu-Tang and Cypress Hill. But Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang Clan. Easy Wu-Tang Clan. Wu-Tang. But I ain't big rap guy, but it's Wu-Tang. And then Cypress Hill after that. Big on Cypress Hill, man. Big on Cypress Hill. Oh, the new F-150 truck. Oh, okay, yeah, man. I don't know nothing about no trucks, man. Y'all bringing all kind of stuff up in here. But, man, hey, man, let me hit this. I'm about to put this link in the chat. Gangstar, yeah. I used to like Gangstar too, man. Rest in peace to Guru. I'm just not really big on rap, man. Honestly, I wasn't not really big on. He said, I agree, but Tribe follows Wu for me. Yeah, that Tribe Called Quest nice too. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, King Stern said, what was the other one I used to like with Grand Poobah? When Grand Poobah was in it. Anyway, Ryan is 5'10", so a lot of fighters. So Ryan is 5'10", so a lot of fighters in his weight classes always like his chin is in the air. Dude's hands are fast and can really fight. Yeah, he's definitely a good fighter, man. Much love in that super chat, bro. Thank you. And Katan Davis said Wu-Tang and Tribe Called Quest. Much love in that super chat, bro. Yeah. I like the Tribe Called Quest. I was a little bit more on Cypress Hill. Ryan is super dangerous fighter for Tank at 140. People are hyping Tank too hard. Man, you're bugging. You're bugging, bro, on that one. You're bugging on that one, man. These guys ain't blind. You know what I'm saying? Brand Nubians. Yeah. I used to like the Brand Nubians. Yeah, the Brand Nubians, man. Caesar TAMG said Indiggable Planets. Remember Diggable Planets? But anyway, I don't want to get on that, man. I don't want to get on too much of that. Bigger than Spence Crawford? I don't think it is, man. I just, people come to my comment section saying stuff. So I just, was going to address it. Do I think it's bigger? No, I do not think it's bigger, but it's big, but it's because it brings in two different fan bases. That's the argument for it being bigger. Because you bring in the Mexican fan base and you bring in the Black American fan base when you have Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis. So you're going to get a lot of Mexican casual fans with Ryan Garcia. So that absolutely can make it a really big fight, because when you have two different demographics coming together, you know what I mean? Master Eden said, not just talking boxing, but an expert opinion, and you have great facts. It's always a privilege to hear another historian about boxing. Thank you, Master Eden. I wouldn't call myself an historian, but I'm fairly well versed in it. I listen to boxing historians because I would call somebody a boxing historian somebody that's constantly studying it, and that's not the case with me. You know what I mean? But I do listen to them. I go out of my way to listen to boxing historians, people that are really, going over what happened in a fight in the 1970s in real detail. You know what I mean? I will do that. But hey, Craig Stern, much love in that super chat, bro. Thank you so much for that support, bro. Oh, Skills from New Orleans. Yeah, that's true. It's not a better fight. Definitely not a better. It may not be a bigger fight, man. It's not a better fight, and it may not be a bigger fight, really. To be truthful with you, it may not be a bigger fight. It may just be, you know, a good fight. I got to bring my dogs in here in a second. Hold on one second. Here you go, LW. L and LW. There you go, L and LW. Thank you. Hey, man, I'm going to put these links, man, in here, waiting for y'all to hop on, man. We're going to do it this. If we're going to do it this morning, let me know, man. Let me know. Because we're definitely bringing cats on. You can hit the link if you want to talk on the channel. The link is in the description, so we can chop it up if y'all are interested in it. Ryan for sure, the underdog, man. Ryan ain't gonna take that fight, man. That's just whatever, man. You know what I mean? Man, wow, yeah, I'm not reading. I'm on can't read your stuff. Crawford Aborigine said, Gordon Beard salute Southwest Detroit in the house. Shout out to D-Town. Shout out to Detroit. Been watching the Pain Hands game since I was 8. Oh, yeah. Oh, long time. What's going on, Rodriguez Jackson TV? Salute to you, man. Salute to you, brother. Salute to you, man. Kane Bunts in the building. Oh, that's not Dave Bunts in the building. Tank hasn't had a big fight yet in his career. That's not true. All of his fights have been big. Nazir King. All of his fights have been big. All of them. I mean, not all of them in the beginning, but ever since, for years, all his fights have been big, man. You ain't noticed that them fights are big, man? That's the biggest. He's had the biggest fights of anybody under 147. In my opinion, I think Tank hasn't really fought anyone elite. Yes, he has. Absolutely, he has, man. He beat, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. Y'all just do Tank wrong, man. Y'all do Tank wrong, man. Real wrong, bro. Real wrong, man. Put these links in this. Man, I used to want, man, cats used to always talk about debating me and all this stuff, man. Cats never show up. Capturing Perfect Photography. I'm going to read that because I like that name. Tank hasn't had a legacy fight. I mean, I guess not. That's fair. The simple answer to your question is yes. Tank and Garcia is the biggest fight because us boxing fans want to see, and all the casuals will want to see it too. I mean, that is the potential for it. You know, that is definitely the potential for it. Hey, Mike Kirkland in the building said, for the show you do. Thank you, brother. Thank you for that support, bro. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that, man. He said he sold out AT&T Arena on the Sunday. Was that fight on the Sunday? Was that fight on Sunday? It's because Tank is attached to Floyd. I mean, not at this point in time. I don't think it is. I mean, he may have gotten that initial push because he was attached to him. But shoot, so did Canelo Alvarez. You know, so did Errol. A lot of people are going to get pushed off him, man. That dude is huge, man. Floyd was huge, man. Huge for boxing, man. I definitely miss Floyd Mayweather Jr. fights, man. I miss that size and that degree of, of conversation around the fights. And I can't wait till we can get that again, man. Can't wait till we get that again. Because it doesn't happen. That's not always the case that somebody is out there like that. You know what I mean? There was a gap between, but yeah. Well, this is probably the biggest gap since there's been somebody like that, man. JT says Spence and Crawford is the best against the best, not a popularity contest. Now, that is true. I agree 100% with that. It is the best against the best. What is the best against the best in the lightweight division, though? What is the best? What is the best against the best in the lightweight division? None of these guys have really fought anybody to say that they're the best, except the ones that have lost, and that's Lomachenko. Teofimo Lopez ain't in the weight division anymore, but I don't know. Haney versus Tank, I don't know if that's the best. Yeah, I would think that it would be, though. I would think that it would be. Tank fought in San Antonio. Yeah, I know. No, Tank didn't just fight in San Antonio. The last fight for Tank was in was at the Barclays Center in New York. Tank just fought in New York. He didn't fight. He didn't fight last in the. Hey, thank y'all so much, man. Zarell said, "You sound sick. Get ready." No, I'm not sick, man. I'm just waiting on Cass to jump on the chat. I'm not sick, Zarellis. I'm in a great mood, man. I feel good. Nah, man, you got me. I may still have a little bit congestion if that's what you're listening to, but because I have been sick. But nah, man, I feel good, man. No, he just fought in the Barclays. He just fought in Brooklyn last time, man. Hey, Dawn, I'm serious, man. I don't know what to say about you. Hey, Dawn, how long have you been watching boxing? And do you really watch boxing? You come with a lot of extreme things. You know what I mean? You come with a lot of extreme statements where you are just certain. You sound so certain about what you know, and I have no idea how he's going to embarrass. He didn't embarrass Jorge Linares. He didn't embarrass Jojo Diaz. He did embarrass Mr. Flop, who choked in George Kambosos. He choked like a mug. Batty Rich in the building said, "My guy Fanon. Support, respect your mind and boxing knowledge." Thank you, brother. Much love in that super chat, bro. Thank you, Batty Rich. Means a lot. Thank you, bro. And my man, Lord Devin Haney in the building. What's going on, brother? I didn't nobody want no smoke this morning, man.
It's a little bit early, but good morning, Fanon. Good morning to everybody in the chat. How are you doing this morning, sir?
I'm doing wonderfully, man. I'm doing wonderfully. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Finally
up partying last night like young men do on Friday nights?
Not really. Well, I don't really do all that, but no, I got some rest, got some stuff, a little bit of work that I have to do, but no, I was just trying to jump on, see if anybody else was going to jump on like last week. Oh, there we go, Mr. RJ Fernandez.
What's going on? What's going on, Mr. Fernandez?
What's going on, brother?
I'm good, man. What's good? So we got people showing up now. How they were waiting on you, Lord Devin Haney.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, how's everybody doing? I see Mr. Doc Holliday in here. How are we doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing well. How about you?
No, we're doing fine. We're doing fine. Just talking. Well, starting up this boxing talk real quick. I wanted to get on Fanon just a little bit because the way he was talking about Devin Haney this week, talking a little bit ill on my boy. I'm the youngest undisputed 4-belt champion.
Hey, man. I'm the youngest co-host. I'm the youngest YouTube channel to have Lord Devin Haney, RJ Fernandez, and Holiday all at the same time. I'm historic. I'm not going off all of that, man. Please, man. Y'all on that nonsense, man. Y'all gotta come right with Devin, man. Devin doesn't need all that extra stuff, man. I don't understand why y'all always trying to put extra soup on his plate, man. He don't need it. He's fine.
He's one of the most duck boxers out there, plus one of the most oppressed. You even admitted that he's in a slave contract. Who else would sign a slave contract to make history?
I never said he had a slave contract. Devin Haney fans called $2 million for a fight a slave contract. I would never get the word slave and $1 million out of my mouth at the same time, because that's a shitload of money. That man bought $1 million worth of jewelry in a year. At least that's what he said he did. Now, do I believe he did? Nah, I really do not believe he's paid $1 million worth of jewelry. I think he's selling jewelry with somebody. But I would not say that he's in a slave contract. I would say he's in a contract that he asked for, because he asked for that deal. He said he would take whatever it is that they gave Vasily Lomachenko, he would take it. And he got it. So I'm that's just kind of where I am with it.
But he had to do it to make history, and we got to respect that and honor that. But no, I see Doc Holliday. I know that he's a very a Spence fan, so I wanted to see his take on has everything been confirmed or mostly agreed upon when it comes to the Spence Crawford fight?
From what I saw, it was I still hold to the same premise that it's still done. I think a gentleman earlier on the chat, because I was on the chat earlier, was talking about it's going to be in November, and I think I made the prediction that it's going to be one of the weeks that the Raiders aren't in town. I still stick to that. It's November. I think I predicted 5th or 26th, and I still think it's going to be around that date when the Raiders aren't in town. So yeah, I think it's going to happen, and I still hold to the same premise that Crawford is going to lose brutally. Brutally. Right.
Oh,
for a number of different reasons, that people aren't even taking into consideration. I think the coaching, I think one's a bigger man. I think once he starts snatching that damn body out of him and he starts hurting him ribs, all that power that Crawford got is going to go away. And not only the fact people aren't thinking about Crawford is 36. Crawford is 36.
35. Look, he'll be 35. 35.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My bad. 35.
I'm sorry.
Huh?
Got to do him fairly, man.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm 50 and I feel how things go these days. I don't, I woke up this morning and my hair hurt. So I know, so shit, you can't tell me that age isn't going to play a factor in this. And my dad is from Texas. My dad is from a place called Mejia, Texas. Texas, I know Spence is born in New York and raised in Texas, but Texas dudes are just different. Just God bless them. They're just different.
Well, I feel you. I do think it hopefully is a close fight. Hopefully we can get some kind of sign soon.
It's not going to be close.
Yeah, I think that fight is done, man. I think that fight is done, man. I think whatever
it's done
because of what Steven Espinoza said. Steven Espinoza was saying that it was the money. Then he said it's a few things just wrapping up and wrapping up a few things. So to me, it sounds like it's done. You listen to the way Derek James is talking about it and Terrence Crawford's camp is talking about it. I think that fight is done, man.
It's done, fellas. It's done.
Terry, who do you honestly have in that fight, though?
Me personally, I'm gonna have to roll with like my dad. My dad is a Spence fan. So I'm going to roll with Spence. I do like Crawford, though. Very big fan of him. It's just the level of competition. With Errol Spence, he fought Mikey. That's a hard out, even though he straight boxed him for 12 rounds. He's fought Sean Porter, the earlier version of Sean Porter. He fought Ugas. He's fought Danny. He's beaten Kell Brook. He's gotten a lot more. He's got Lamont Peterson. So there's a lot more experience and a lot more talented fighters that I feel that Errol has fought in. But Terrence, very versatile, still has power in both hands, has a really good boxing IQ as well. But I think Spence, he's probably just a little bit bigger, probably a little bit too strong. I feel like, the bigger man.
Hey, much love in that super chat to my man J Bird 904 in the building. What's good, bro? Thank you for that support, man. It means a lot, man.
Another subject of Ryan Garcia.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
And people were talking about Ryan Garcia. God bless the kid, but I think he will fight Tank. I think he will fight Tank if he can do it at the end of the year. And if he does fight Tank towards the end of the year and Tank, hits him on that chin and puts him to sleep, I guarantee you he's going to revamp the group Menudo and he's going to be the lead singer of the new Menudo. Watch, it's coming. You heard it here first.
I'm a little bit skeptical on that fight. I'm not sure if it does or doesn't get done because Oscar De La Hoya is already coming out saying that he wants DAZN in on this deal. You already know the A side's going to be running everything, so that's going to be PBC, Showtime. It's the same thing what would happen with Jaime Munguia and Jermell Charlo. I guess Jaime Munguia has been continuously calling out Jermell, but they keep talking about the fight needs to include DAZN, and that's not supposed to happen. You're coming to the champions area. You're not so if you're coming to the champions area, you have to go by his promotional company, his network. So I'm not sure unless DAZN wants to put in some money. I would have to see what Oscar's talking about because unless Ryan's willing to come over there, or DAZN's willing to put up half, that's the only way I can see that fight getting made.
Well, there's always a way for a fight to get made when the money's there. How long are they going to wait? Sometimes if going back on history, if you remember the Sugar Ray Tommy Hearns fight. Tommy Tommy Hearns had knocked out Pepino Cuevas, and Sugar Ray was already popular. They waited and waited and waited till it was, till the country almost couldn't take it. I remember when that fight came out, there was no such thing as pay-per-view. That was a long time ago. And I remember everybody was hyped about it. You may be right. It may be something that we won't get for I'm not sure how old Tank is. I think Tank is 26, 27, 28.
I think he's around like 27-ish, 28.
Yeah, we probably won't get it for a couple of years. Yeah, and Ryan keeps that wolfing and stuff like that, and he's just doing that on his social media to kind of get the casual fans and the 11-year-old girls interested. And God bless him for that. But that fight has to eventually happen, before he starts losing, because Ryan is 5'10". That kid is a big kid. He's gonna grow out of 140. He's gonna grow out of 147. He's gonna grow out of all that stuff.
I believe Danny Garcia was just on the interview. He said that Ryan's low-key a welterweight.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 140 is a good weight class for him. So, I mean, Floyd Mayweather's talking about him having to come back down to 135. If he could do it, I mean, the money's there, but it would have to be a lot of factors.
Yeah, it would have to be a lot of factors. But the simple thing is, he's not going to be able to stay at 135, 140 very long. He's too big. He's way too big. About? Ryan Garcia.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be him and Devin gonna be up there at 147.
Yeah,
I wish y'all stop picking on little kids.
Yeah, they're too big. Ryan Garcia, that last fight, you see the muscle that kid was carrying? I was like,
True.
I never saw Ryan with shoulders like that. I'm like, wow, look at this kid.
Well, I mean, I always say that as long as you can make the weight comfortably, I wouldn't say like you're being a weight bully. I mean, there's a lot of things that have been said. I mean, we could say the same thing about Errol Spence. He's sort of, he's having a little, he originally could be at 154. Like Regis Prograis, he could be at 147 if he wants to, but they're as long as they can still continue to make the weight comfortably.
Regis don't need to be in no 147 though. Regis' arms too short to box with God, man. That dude, he don't that's right exactly where he needs to be. If anything, he need to be able to get down to 135, but he's probably just a little bit too muscular for that, man. You know what I mean? A Breezy said, for now, Crawford don't have a better IQ. Errol, the one who went to the Olympics, and a better coach in Derrick James. Yeah, hey man, let me ask y'all a question, man. Who do you think is the smarter fighter between Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford? Lord Haney. I can't believe you got me calling somebody Lord Haney, bro. You guys gonna put it out there, huh? I can't call you Terry. I gotta call you Lord Haney.
Why do you continue to disrespect Devin? He hasn't done anything wrong. He's just been nothing but a great kid, a great boxer. You keep getting on him over some knockouts when the sport is called boxing. It's not called knockout. I mean, the kid keeps winning. He's just oh, go ahead, Doc.
I said, good point. It is called boxing, not knockout. This isn't UFC.
Actually, the sport is called prize fighting. I think that's what it's called. I think it's called prize fighting. What it's called. Get the money. Fight for the prize. Prize fighter. I'm a prize fighter. Boxing, I don't know what is it. Pugilism? Is it pugilism? But whatever the case is, man, punching is part of it. But I don't have a problem telling you. I think Devin's shit. I don't have a problem with Devin not knocking people out. All I'm saying is, if you would knock people out, it would make a whole lot easier to sell. That's it.
Yep.
But I'm not attacking Devin Haney, dude. I am being attacked by Devin Haney's fans constantly. Because I refuse to bend the knee. Because I refuse to bend the knee to him and accept any type of thing that pours out of people's pie holes, man. I just can't do it, man. I know I'm a bad guy, but I can't do it. Can't do it.
But look at what Devin's done. Well, look at what Devin's done. He's almost in a sense like Errol Spence. He's been saying that he's been wanting to try to fight the best everybody in his division. He's got all the belts. Errol's on his way to do that. He is not tickling. That man is punching. Look at Kambosos' face after that fight. His face was marked up. Like Devin Haney, he might not. Just wait till Devin goes to 140. All that power is going to come up in there. he's just right now he's growing into his strength. So, he's just gonna have to do a few more little strength and conditioning sessions, things like that. But he's still it doesn't matter. He's still coming out with the W at the end of the day.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. But that's the only thing that I'm saying is for Devin is if he gets knockouts, it's going to be a lot. People are going to be a lot more really, honestly, truly interested in seeing him fight. And when they're honestly, truly interested in seeing him fight, then you don't need all this extra stuff like crying, like calling duck every 30 seconds, man. His career is built off the idea that like a clear attempt to copy what was going on with Errol Spence Jr. when Errol was the boogeyman. He tried to sell the boogie. They're trying to sell the boogeyman stuff. And the problem is you can't be a boogeyman going a distance. Like, that's not boogeyman material, man. That's not boogie. You know what I mean? That's not like, it's not boogeyman material.
It's
boogeyman
because
material is Jaron. Jaron is boogeyman material. David Benavidez is boogeyman, material. Like, yeah, I would love to fight him, but this dude is laying cats out. So now we're not going to fight him because we don't want to get beat up and stop and hurt. You know what I mean? Like Clubber Lang is the original, boogeyman type of syndrome, the cinematic boogeyman, right? Sonny Liston, the boogeyman. You know what I mean? Like nobody look at like Corey Spinks as the boogeyman. You know what I mean? You're not like Chris Bird ain't the boogeyman, Chris Bird ain't the boogeyman. Who else is out there? Ain't the Demetrius Andrade ain't the boogeyman.
I was about to say Andrade is a boogeyman. That's who I'm
putting. But he'll still knock people out.
Andrade can hit hard.
Devin can too. He's got some knockouts. You act like he ain't got over like 15. Well, he has like 15 knockouts.
Dog, when he stopped, as soon as he stopped fighting. See, I don't want him. See, I got shout out to my Mexicans in the building. Shout out to my Mexicans in the building because I was gonna say as soon as he stopped working stopped fighting Mexican cab drivers, the knockouts went away.
Wow. He's fighting world-class competition. He's fighting former world champions. It's hard to.
But it's hard like who? Like Yuriorkis Gamboa?
Jojo Diaz, Linares.
Exactly, Linares. Everybody knocks out Jorge Linares, man.
It's a hard out, man. Not everybody. Styles make fights, and Devin's style, I guess, just didn't.
Exactly.
He's a world class. He's a former 2 or 3 division champion. Linares knows how to survive in that ring.
Devin should have got that Olympic gold medal. Devin should have got that Olympic gold medal. Well, actually, no, he shouldn't have because he made a bunch of money coming out as a pro and all of that. It's funny, man. But, I guess it'll work out. I mean, look
at he's got money even though now he's in a slave contract. Bob Arum's robbing him blind, he's just doing this for his history and legacy. So he's showing you, he's actually putting the blueprint out there that, sometimes you got to take bad deals in order to make history. And so he's done that. And, now he's just trying to build his legacy on just trying to beat the best. Yeah. See who can beat him at 135.
Who can beat him at 135? I don't know. I don't think anybody can beat him because he can't fight him. Now I'm being a dick. Now I admit I'm being a dick. Who do I think can beat him at 135? I don't know if anybody can beat him at 135. I don't. He's that good a boxer. I don't know if anybody can beat him at 135. I would suspect the people that have a chance are Lomachenko, Tank, and Shakur if Shakur moves up. But honestly and truly, who would I pick to beat him? I don't know. I'll ride 50-50 on at least 3 fights. You know what I mean? I'd ride 50-50 on at least 3 fights, like 50-50 on Lomachenko, because on the real, that's not an easy fight for Devin. Lomachenko gets on the inside of dude. He throws so many punches, and he's so slick with it that, I think but I think Devin has a chance to beat him. Gervonta, I think Devin's got a legitimate chance to beat him. A legitimate chance to beat him. He's bigger, he's longer, he's a hell of a fighter, man. He really, 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 really is, man. So I can't say anybody that I think just straight out would beat him. I don't get out until like where I would say, okay, I know somebody's beating Devin. Like the first guy I would say I know is beating Devin is probably Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor is probably the first one where I'm like, yeah, he'll beat Devin, the unified champion 140. He's because that guy is the same size. He fights from the south. He's actually a little bit bigger. Fights from the southpaw stance. He's very, very aggressive. You know, I would say that would be the first guy that I would say, yeah, I would give the advantage over Devin is Josh Taylor. I may not even give him an advantage over like Regis Prograis. Like I think I may take Devin over Regis Prograis. That says a lot because I'm a huge Regis Prograis fan. But until he gets to 147 against like Boots, like he gets in there with Boots, it's dead man walking. You know what I mean? It's dead man walking at that point in time, is what I would say. But at 135, these guys ain't really even the same size. And yeah, I see my man Ghost is talking about Gary Antoine Russell. Yeah, man, Gary Antoine. But see, even with Gary Antoine Russell, I'm gonna say, let me see a little bit more out of Gary Antoine Russell. You know, before like if he knocks out Rances Bartholomew, I'm gonna be like, okay, yeah, then yeah, Devin and that dude, that's gonna be something, no doubt about it. You know, right. That's where I would be on that.
I feel you right there, Fernando. I can sort of roll with that. Like I can roll with that. I agree with everything that you said in a sense. But we'll have to see in probably like a few years because Devin, you know, eventually he's going to go to 140 and 147. So I do want to see some of those great fights that can be made at 142 because that division's starting to get stacked.
Hey man, I never thought I'd do this again. I need a Bud fan on the panel, dog. We can't exist without the Bud fans.
Fanon, I'd like to be the impromptu phony Bud fan if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun. Go ahead, man.
All right, hold on. Let me get ready.
It's gonna be tough if you don't really feel it though. And
we can play some Bud fans. Like, what do you want to talk about? I mean, let's switch up right now.
I want to know who y'all really think is gonna win this fight, dog. Like seriously.
Oh yeah, well, see, this is what's gonna happen, Fanon. Bud, I feel like is gonna win. Possibly by late round stoppage. And it's because you got to understand, look at how Bud's style is compared to Errol. Even Bud can switch. He could go fight out of the orthodox in comparison to just with Errol just only being a southpaw. And plus, remember, Bud is a way better counterpuncher.
He got his Bud hat on.
Yeah.
Right,
they called me 1 second. Brandon Jacobs said, "You smoking dope, Fanon?" No, I am not. I stopped smoking dope, bro. I stopped. That shit was not good for me, man. I stopped. I no longer smoke dope. But what are you talking about smoking dope? I did have my dope smoking days, though. I will tell you that. However, not anymore, man. What am I smoking dope on, man? You talking about, don't tell me about you think that boy can beat Jaron Ennis. Dude, I want to pull y'all into a Jaron Ennis, Devin Haney conversation so bad, bro. I really do.
Yeah, he puts him to sleep easy. Yeah, too big for him.
And even if they were the same size, I don't care if they're the same size. I mean that. I don't care if they're the same size. That dude is just a better fighter, man. That dude's a better fighter than all these kids, except for maybe Shakur. And honestly, dog, I'll take Shakur over Devin. I'll take Shakur over Devin.
Well, you saw that YouTube video where Shakur took him to school just in sparring.
Bop.
Yeah,
I saw two though. One I think I saw two. Another one looked like Devin may have been getting a little work in. I think, to be fair.
But I mean, Shakur, I mean, at 130, he's still got a little bit of unfinished business. You know, O'Shaquie Foster is the number one.
He's moving up. Shakur said he's moving up.
Broderick Hunter said, we know when you said Woo in Cypress Hill. Yeah, dog. I swear to God, dog, I was on Planet 99 with Wu-Tang in Cypress Hill, bro. Oh my God, man. So look, man, how does Bud win this fight, man? I mean, God dang it, man. I'm seriously, I am really, dog, not so heavy on one side or the other because I just know, like, I don't want to, like, I'm not so heavy on one side or the other. I don't understand how cats do not see that Bud has a chance to catch Errol because he does. He got a chance to catch him. But on the other side of it, man, I swear to God, Bud may come out pissing blood. Dog, the nasty fucking,
broken jaw,
the nasty ass whooping. If he ain't on his game, the nasty ass whooping this man can take the Errol Spence Jr. put a nasty beat down on Yordenis Ugas, man. And I think
Ugas ain't on the level of a Crawford. See, Crawford is way more defensively responsible and just.
I disagree. No. I don't think there's a quantum leap of talent between Ugas and Crawford. I don't think there's so much of a talent deficit there. I think Ugas is pretty good.
Yeah, he is.
Probably pretty, but he ain't a Bud. And Bud would actually, he would switch. He would actually make changes. He would actually make the little necessary changes within the fight. See, he can go to orthodox and still counter it.
You make an excellent point, but people make changes because their first strategy isn't working. If you notice, Errol Spence does one thing. I'm going to come at you, I'm gonna tear your body up, and I'm going to beat that ass. It works every time. People switch strategies, A, B, C, because the first one got neutralized.
But now if I know that all you're thinking about is just trying to break me down, wear me down, and then all of a sudden going for the kill, like I would just make adjustments, just keep every time you're trying to go to the body or go low, I'm trying to go over the top, go overhead, go overhand, because with your hands low, mine's going over the top of yours. So I mean, subtle little adjustments, keeping one elbow down, tucked just to protect the rib, and then swinging over, going overhand.
Here and just on a little point for the cats in the chat. And again, thank you everybody that supports in the super chat, everybody that supports in the Cash App, and I'm getting a Fanon Cup fund together so I can get my co-host, because I want these guys to show up every Saturday. It's a lovely conversation, so y'all can be sipping to your Fanon cups. Look, man, people say that Crawford is so much better than Ugas. All right, how much better is he really? Okay, now I believe that he's better than him, definitely, but just say, I mean, how much better? Because here's the thing. Errol almost killed that motherfucker. Killed him.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like there's a gap. I mean, like, it wasn't like that was no close fight. It's like he damn near killed that dude. So like, yeah, you're a lot better, but are you better to get out of this? Are you so much better that he ain't gonna try to kill you? Like, the thing is that dude is trying to kill. Ain't nobody got out of there without an ass whooping. Like, nobody. You got
where they weren't the same.
You got Mikey Garcia getting out of there talking like sticking his tongues out, twitching and shit. You got you got Danny Garcia, took 2 years off. Sean Porter wasn't the same after that. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, how are you going to be the one dude to get out of that ass whooping? Even if you were able to win the fight, how are you going to get out of that prolonged amounts of time of getting your ass whooped by a dude that throws that many punches and a guy that really is very, very, very defensively sound? You know what I mean? That's where I'm having a hard time is.
And something else to consider. I think one of the best fights, Errol Spence, and this is what got me on him, that fight with Kell Brooks. Kell Brooks had just, if my memory serves me correct, he had just beat Sean Porter with that beautiful jab, bap, was in his ass. Kell Brooks was a very big welterweight. And Spence came in there, he fought through fire because Kell Brooks was firing on that. I mean, Kell Brooks was connecting well. I think 1 through 4, I would give it to Brooks, but he stood his ground, stayed on his plan, eventually broke that man down. I guess one of the questions would be, is Crawford as good as that Kell Brooks? And can Spence walk through whatever punishment that Crawford is going to give him? If he can walk through that, it's a wrap. I just don't see how Crawford's going to stand up to it. I just don't.
Well, not many people have stood up to Crawford's punishment either. I mean, Kell Brook left, Amir Khan left.
Did you see Amir Khan? I had a hickey one time and it knocked out Amir Khan. Amir Khan, come on, man, Amir Khan.
I mean, Jeff Horn, the champion that beat Pacquiao, knocked him out, knocked out Sean Porter.
Horn didn't knock out Pacquiao.
I mean, no, I said that Terrence knocked out Horn, who beat Pacquiao.
That was questionable. I don't think Horn should have won that fight. I just don't necessarily.
I had it like 8-4 for Horn.
Like I said,
I didn't even score that fight, but I was just scoring brownie points as I told everybody that man could win. I was like, man, Jeff Horn ain't no He's not a because what do you call it? Like, yeah, he's just not a walkover, man. Because Jeff Horn can fight a little bit, man, and he's big, and
he's
fighting
rough.
over in a whole, and you're fighting over there in Australia. So anytime those type of situations pop off, things can go bad. But dude, your Dennis Ugas had just beaten Manny Pacquiao, man, and beating Manny Pacquiao was no easy deal, man.
Convincingly.
Like, yeah, it's no easy. Nobody's ever just got off on him like that easy money,
Exactly.
But it's gonna be tough, man. Bud is a beast, man. I just think that it's gonna happen for Bud. He's gonna have to catch Errol with something. So my only question is, like, if Errol's gonna get caught with them uppercuts, like if he's gonna get caught in time with a really nasty uppercut, or if he's gonna get caught with like one of them little check hooks, something like that coming in, and if he can really rattle him, then I think that Bud's definitely got a chance to do something. I think it's gonna be Bud by knockout if he wins. But if that goes 12 rounds, I can't see Bud winning no decision off a guy that throws that many punches, throws that many jabs. And Bud don't really work. Bud doesn't really work behind a jab. Like that's what like people have been talking about how he looks older. I'm not saying that Bud looks older. Really, I think he's just probably refined his game a lot. But there is one thing for sure: he does not work behind a jab. Consistently work behind a jab, and Errol works behind a jab. So that jab, and it's in that southpaw. I've already talked about that southpaw matchup. But if either way it goes, that jab, the advantage of the jab is Errol, and that jab matchup.
But if either.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought somebody was talking. I didn't see it.
No. I was turning it on my computer. I was just damn.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, it's just that jab. That I think racks up rounds for him, right? Similar to like when you guys talk about like Devin Haney against Tank. Yeah, I think that jab probably could, even though the southpaw thing is there for Devin. Yeah, you can rack up a lot of money with that jab, man. You can rack up a lot of money with that jab, man.
I mean, I think Terrence is going to have to switch up his game plan because I know with the southpaw, that lead foot and that lead jab is going to be out there. So he's going to have to. I feel like Terrence is going to have to paw at it, keep touching, try to nullify that lead jab in a sense from Errol because it's always going to be out there. He keeps that stick out there. So I feel like
he's going to have to do that from the orthodox stance, though. That's what I'm saying. He have to do that shit from the orthodox stance.
Right. So Bud's left hand is going to have to be out there nullifying his Errol's right hand.
Yeah.
It's
so it's what I'm saying. It's like that's not he hasn't been fighting from that stance in a long, like he very rarely, well, not rarely, I guess he does it every fight, but yeah, that's just the thing that really kind of makes it like to me. It's like it's gonna be funny, bro.
But then remember, Bud is a dog in there. I mean, he is willing to exchange. He is willing to exchange, but only thing is, I'm just not sure. I mean, biggest puncher he probably went against. Besides maybe Kell Brook, maybe Kavaliauskas as a big puncher. So I mean, if he could just got to compare the punching. See if Bud can take that, then he's got to try to set Errol up with something, or if not, just try to work behind a particular game plan. Bomac, hopefully Bomac can go get him, tell him some things in the ring that he can see.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I
just don't see it. I was at that Charlo Castano fight, and I saw Ugas there with his girlfriend. And what was that, a month or two after that fight? This man was still literally walking around looking like the Elephant Man. I'm serious. And I mean, because I was on the floor and I was literally 30 feet from him. She was literally like he was holding on to her belt loop walking around. I don't think we see the sheer brutality of what this guy is bringing. He was literally walking. I'm not saying he was blind, but you could tell he was visibly disabled in some capacity. And that really attractive girlfriend he has was walking him around. This is like a month or so afterwards at the Castano fight. He's going to change Crawford. I just don't see it. And
when he said, "Hey man, you supposed to be in character, bro."
Oh yeah. Okay, you're absolutely right.
Hey man, you supposed to be in character, man.
Okay, let me get into a Crawford mood. Yeah, and and Crawford's gonna beat him with his superior footwork and his superior boxing skill. You know, Spence hasn't.
I was gonna say, hey, Aspen on this. Hey, if it's about that sheer brutality and everything, how the heck did Sean Porter make it out there? He made it out that fight in a split decision. You know, like, come on, like Bud would have did way better, if not would have beat Errol.
Sean Porter is a grimy ass bastard in the boxing ring, man. He is grimy as the fuck. That is the dirtiest. First of all, bro, you got to remember who Sean Porter is. Sean Porter will elbow you. Sean Porter will headbutt you. Sean Porter loves fighting inside like that, man. That's what he does. He loves that grab, maul, punch you, bump you, hit. Dude, I used to, man, for a long time, I was like, man, I like Sean Porter as a person, but that is the dirtiest fighter in boxing, man. He loves fighting like that, man, and he didn't want to fight Errol like that. I'm telling you, and even that was clean. Like, even when Errol was on the inside with him, it was clean on the inside, but he's fighting that little ass short dude. That's like Gervonta trying to fight Isaac Cruz on the inside. Do you see how low he had to get? Like, he has to get, like, Errol, like, go back and look at that fight. Errol literally was bending at the knee so low. I was like, God dog, this dude got some strong ass legs, because he was sitting down like his waist was dropped. His legs were in a position where he had to get down to get in the inside. I mean, there ain't no inside for that little midget. I mean, little midget. So, you know what I mean? I mean, no disrespect, Sean. Don't slap me in the mouth when I see you. But you a little ass dude, man. He a little itty bitty ass dude, man, as far as his height and how much body there is actually to attack. So unlike Ugas, who got plenty torso, you know what I mean? He got plenty torso, much easier to fight a short guy. It's harder to be that much taller than somebody and fight him on the inside. Where Terrence is not that much shorter than him. But he is, but he does have that nasty ass uppercut. He got them nasty ass hooks. If he loads up and hits Errol, he can definitely, I mean, he got the ability to hurt cats, man. I mean, you know what I mean? He's definitely got the ability to hurt him. However, I'm just like, look, man, in between them shots that you're looking for, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in between, everything in between is the problem for me. Like, if he can hit one, boom, like land a big one off, okay. But then as soon as you hit, here's this guy's with pat, 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 pat. And then you're like looking at, okay, let me hit another one. Okay, I got another one. Nice. I then pat, 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 pat. It's that consistent, like in your chest, constant, like in your grill thing that to me is like, if he don't have it in the first 6 rounds, that shit's probably not going to be there for him in 12 through 9, 10, 12 rounds, bro, especially if he's zipping there taking hip shots and shit like that. Because Errol can get kind of grimy too. Like, real grimy. You know?
But like I said, I mean, go ahead, Doc.
No, I was, you know, a little bit ago off subject. Have they even started the promotion for the Triple G Canelo fight? Because are they even promoting that? Because there's a lot of taco vendors near where I live over there by the casino, and I could have sworn I seen Canelo over there eating tacos, man. I'm serious. Have they started a promotion? Have they started the training camp? Are they even going to do that fight?
Yeah, they're doing the fight. Just don't nobody care about that fight, man.
That's a damn shame. Yeah, nobody wants to see that crap.
I mean, I'll start talking about it like, I mean, dude, because, you know, I'm telling you what people care. I know what people care about in boxing right now. I can tell you to the subject. They care about Errol Spence Jr., Terrence Crawford, and stuff around that. Yeah. They care about Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia, stuff around that. And there's a surprising number of people that are interested in Jake Paul and Hasim Rahman. And about him actually fighting a real fighter. There's a little bit. I think there's a little bit more buzz around that fight than there had been the last, where people don't care, because now people are like, all right, you're fighting Hasim Rahman Jr. You got your rehydration clause in there or whatever, but is this dude gonna wind up killing you? You know. But as far as guys like you know, like that Canelo Gennady Golovkin fight, man, Canelo. I mean, I just can't tell you how disappointed I am, man, for him not to be actively fighting like actively fighting the fighters that people would like to see him fight. There's like, I mean, he's taken like as far as like the, like, I mean, Gennady Golovkin, Gennady Golovkin and those guys were on top of the game. I mean, Gennady Golovkin ain't been on top of the game since 2017. It's like 2017, 2018. You know what I mean? So it's like, what? Who cares about this fight, right? In a way, it doesn't prove anything. But I'm gonna tell you though, man, don't lunch on Gennady Golovkin in this fight, man. Because I'm telling you, I think Canelo Alvarez is not what Canelo Alvarez used to be, man.
I agree.
I do not believe that he is where he used to be, and I think that's the reason why he's taking these fights, man. You know, looking not necessarily for the easy way out, but for the easiest way out that he can find. Personally,
I think it's that money that he's still getting with Eddie Hearn. To be honest, like he's still getting good money just to fight these not fighting like a Charlo, Andrade, or Benavidez, but you know he's just getting really good money. Just work with Eddie Hearn. So, you know, they're probably going to go give him a John Ryder after this or, you know, somebody else at 68,
McAvoy.
you know, just
please. He's going to come back
he couldn't even beat a 75-pounder. How could he beat a cruiserweight?
He's great. You got GGG. No, I didn't say I have GGG. I said do not be surprised. I said do not be surprised if GGG does something to that man. Do not be surprised. First of all, I'm old, and I can tell you that, look, if somebody else, you look good against somebody else that is over the hill too. Like, if they're not that far apart, and the dude's got 60+ fights. Canelo, like I told people before the Bivol fight, wasn't I just out there telling you, look, man, Canelo is not young. Canelo got 60 fights, man. He's been a professional fighter longer than Gennady Golovkin has, man. Gennady Golovkin, how many fights Gennady Golovkin got? 30s? It's in the 30s, isn't it?
Probably in the 30s, I believe.
Yes, if it's in the 30s, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in the 30s though, because I don't think he started as late as some of those guys do. But Gennady Golovkin is in this, you know, like in the total number of fights is like in the 30s. He's not taking as much professional punishment as Canelo Alvarez has, man. Canelo been around a very, very long time. So it wouldn't surprise me if Gennady Golovkin can pull it out for one more fight. Just be extra motivated, extra, you know, like in the mindset that he's going to die in that ring. And Canelo is not necessarily looking all that great. John Williams said, Hasim Rahman Jr. taking a dive. Yeah, that's the most likely. That's the most likely outcome.
Wow.
That dive. Yeah, I can agree with that though. Like, yeah, I can see that. I can see that taking place.
You know what? Triple G has 44 fights. He has fewer fights. He has fewer fights than Canelo. 60 fights has some wear and tear on you.
True. Plus Canelo's knee isn't holding. It's not doing that well either. Canelo ain't that mobile like that.
Shit. He can't move for shit.
Yeah, you can see that.
He can't move for shit because he's out there getting outmaneuvered by Dimitri Bivol, who is not a fucking ballerina. Okay, yeah. He's out there getting outmaneuvered by Dimitri Bivol. Dimitri up on his toes, literally up on his toes, moving, dancing on him, throwing shots, and Canelo can't get out of the way. One of Canelo's best attributes is being able to slip shots, man. You're not supposed to be able to hit Canelo with all that stuff. But now Canelo can get hit. I'm telling you, he's been plodding behind guys, just plodding behind guys for several years now, man. And people acting like, no, like that. No, dude, that is because that dude's knees are not where that dude's used to be. I wouldn't be surprised if that juice isn't taken like that juice used to take, you know, because on the real, you on that juice for so long, your body doesn't respond to that stuff like it used to, man. He doesn't look like he had the endurance. He didn't look like he had the endurance. He can't throw a lot of shots at one time. He's got to throw. He's loading up on big shots and then he's stopping. Man, I would not be surprised. I'm telling you, I would not be surprised if Canelo lost to Gennady Golovkin. I wouldn't be surprised, man. Yeah, I'm not predicting it, but I wouldn't be surprised. We got Jamaican boxing in the building. What's good, man? So, what were we talking about?
No, we're talking about there's trolls that be doing that, but no, there's no, I feel you about that. I think here's the thing though, Fanon, if Triple G does beat Canelo, where does Canelo go from here? That's like Eddie Hearn set you up for 2 fights. You done lost. The fan base doesn't want you. Like, do you go to PBC? Like, what do you do?
You retire. Shit. You say, look, I had it. I'm done. I'm done. Because
if he loses to Gennady Golovkin,
it's
I
a
don't
wrap.
know, man. I do think maybe like retirement. I mean, I would say retirement. But if he loses to him, man, Doug, honestly, man, the Hall of Shit, man, dude, he may lose Hall of Fame off that, man.
Yeah.
He may lose Hall of Fame votes off that, Doug. Losing to Gennady Golovkin, man.
Can you imagine what Marquez is going to say about him if he loses that fight? Marquez is going to be on YouTube the next day. I told you he was no good. He will be on there the next day.
Dude, it totally exposes him, man. Like, we know if you lose first of all, losing to Dimitri Bivol, that told you right there. Like, man, sorry, dude. You out here acting like, yeah, dude, dog, it may cost him the Hall of Fame. Yeah, it may cost him the Hall of Fame if he loses to Gennady Golovkin. Because he ain't fought nobody since Gennady Golovkin. He ain't fought nobody since Gennady Golovkin. For me, it's huge, bro. It's huge. That's a huge loss. Blacksmith Ross says, sorry, but not sorry, guys. People need to rewatch the Spence versus Porter fight. Punches landing between them was only 20 punches more than Porter. The fight was close, just one knockdown. Bud gets credit. Dog, I mean, he gets credit for what?
But Bud gets credit for that Sean Porter win because he stopped Sean Porter. But stop that man.
Still, after that man got the brakes beaten off of him by Errol, it was a split decision. It's still 2 years after Errol Spence Jr. fought him, and he retired right after the fight. Man, it's 2 years after.
He did retire.
It's 2 full years after. 2 full years after. He didn't have a belt. He didn't have a belt. It's 2 years after he didn't have a belt, and he said he was retiring before the fight happened, and his dad threw the towel in when he had no business throwing the towel in. I mean,
he was going to go down a third time. We saw the writing was on the wall. Sean was going down a third time. Like, you already knew it was going to happen. You knew it was going to happen.
I personally think that man, I don't say anything about it because it's 2 years later. It's 2 years later. Like let me say, let's see who just lost. Hey, what's going on, E-Money Bags?
Going on, fam?
How you feeling, man?
Good, I can't complain.
Yeah, so look, man, let me see who lost 2 years ago. Like,
hey, salute to my fellow Bud fan, E-Money Bags.
A name of a fighter that lost 2 years ago. Did you get the same credit for beating after they lost? Okay, here you go. So let's say Canelo Alvarez loses to Dimitri Bivol, right?
Right.
And then 2 years from now, he fights Jermell Charlo 2 years later. And then Jermell Charlo beats Canelo 2 years later. Are you going to give him the same credit for beating somebody 2 years after the fact? It's legitimately 2 years after the fact. It may be 3 years after the fact. How long was it? Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Sean Porter, box rec. Sean lost to Errol after going the distance with Sebastian Formilla. Yeah, it was
2019.
It was over 2 years. It was over 2 years later. Come on, man. You know that dude. He fought one time in 2 years and he retired. So I'm just like, nah, dog. I'm not going too crazy. I'm not going too crazy over that one. Real quick though, my man Blacksmith Ross. I think I got Blacksmith Ross. And then where'd this other super chat go? Okay, my man Batty Rich said, James system is real. Watch fights. I'm telling you, besides the fights, when EJ played the other guys' game, they all eventually take the same pressure. That system really effective guys go into survival mode. Yeah, they do. But that's what Sean Porter likes to do. Much love in that super chat, bro. All right, so y'all go ahead, man. I'm sorry. What's going on, E-Money Bags? What you want to talk about, man?
Hey, Money Bags. How you doing, bro?
It's you, E-Money Bags. Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What'd you say?
Oh, I was just saying, what's good, man? You were gonna say something? Were you?
Oh yeah, about the 2-year thing. If you look at all Arrow's biggest wins, those guys had a loss with a 2-year period. Porter and Garcia to Thurman, and we gave him a lot of props for those wins.
Where Sean Porter have a loss within 2 years?
He had lost to Keith Thurman.
Really? I don't
Yeah,
know
that's true. That's true.
Dang, that is a good point. That is a very good
that's
point.
3 years, bro.
You
That
said
was
3?
3 years. That was 3 years. 2016, that's 3 years. That was 3 years before. In 16 and in 19, that was 3 years before that. And then Ugas's last loss. Ugas probably lost.
Porter. His last loss was to Porter.
2 years. Yeah, that was 3 years before that. So he had lost 3 years before that to Sean Porter. It had been 3 years, but still, I mean, that's even more to your point but those guys didn't get beat up like that. They're not the end of their career. But anyway, go ahead, man. I didn't want to argue with you.
So it's kind of funny that we're on that topic. I wholly admit that Arrow has a better welterweight. He's fought better. We all know he's fought better fighters at welterweight than Bud has. But do we honestly think it's by a extreme amount, by a lot?
I do.
You do?
Yeah, yes, sir. I do. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm looking at the record since we're all technically savvy. If you look back on Crawford's last 9 fights, I mean, come on, man. He fought John Molina in 16, Victor Postol. Molina had 6 losses at that point. And Felix Diaz, 19-1. Amir Khan, come on now. Amir Khan, he's probably knocked out right now or something. Kell Brooks, 39-2. Yeah, I don't know if that has a lot. Let's say for the sake of argument, that has nothing to do with the record of both fighters. I just, for some reason, I'm not saying this is a mismatch and that Crawford can't land anything. I just don't think he's ready for this kind of dude. And yes, he's fought better competition, but it's just not going to be close as people think. I just don't think it is.
Well, okay, so what do you think Arrow's going to do that's just something that Bud's not going to be able to stop, in your opinion?
I think he's going to just keep coming forward. Number one, in my opinion, I don't see very many fighters that could really generate that kind of power going backwards. He's going to take away his power by killing him to the body. He's going to have front foot positioning on him the whole time, which is what Derek James teaches. And people are underestimating the fact that Errol Spence has one of the most fundamentally sound jabs out there. He's also coming with that jab. What the hell are you going to do about that, which is the most important punch out there? What are you going to do about that?
You said about hitting going backwards. You do know that a lot of Bud's knockouts are not really knockouts. When he hurts somebody, then he comes forward and finishes the job. A lot of those guys he's hurting going backwards, taking a step back.
But you're referring to the guys that are coming in head first, just trying to attack. This guy is coming in with a jab where he's going to your body. This is a totally different ballgame. This guy he's not coming in to get position. He's coming in attacking. That's what people don't understand. And what is Bud going to do about his jab? We all know Spence throws almost 100 punches per round. I may stand corrected on that, but this guy also has a jab.
My response to that would be when we're talking about that fight, how he's going to come forward and things of that nature, and how he's going to stop with the pressure. If you watch the Porter fight, I had the judge that gave it to Porter, I didn't agree with. I thought Errol won the fight. Actually, I thought if you go by round, I thought Errol, I'm not going to say winning it going away, but in my mind, it was no question that he won the fight by at least 3 rounds, in my opinion.
Right.
But I've probably watched that fight maybe at least 5 times. The amount of clean punches he got hit with in that fight, you can't get hit with that many clean punches against Bud. If he even gets hit with half as many clean hard punches against Bud Crawford, I mean, even Fanon will tell you if you ask Fanon how if there's a way Bud can win the fight, he says knockout. Like it's Errol getting hit with a really extremely clean punch. And I think the way Errol fights, I think when somebody pushes Errol, anytime I've seen Errol being pushed, he gets a little wild. When he just bulldogs and runs through a person and breaks them down, he's really clean. His technique is phenomenal. I think he has some of the best fundamentals in boxing. But when he gets buzzed, look, we don't see him get buzzed all the time, but when he gets buzzed, he gets that dog comes out and he turns it into a brawl, and he gets hit with some clean shots. If you look at the Kell Brook fight, and if you look at the Porter fight, when he started getting hit with some really clean shots, he tended to get a little wild. It still ended up working in his favor because he just mauls guys down. But those guys don't hit like Bud hits, and Bud hits you. And I don't even know if it's a power thing. I think when Bud hits you, it's one you don't see coming as much. And those are the ones that sit you down. And that's what would have me worried in that fight if I'm going for Errol Spence, is that everybody puts a lot of stock in all these switches, stances, and all that stuff. I'm not gonna say that's overrated because it's definitely a factor in the fight. But because I don't think he's gonna switch a lot in this fight. I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna be good for him to switch a lot in this fight. But you think if you were his coach, you would tell him to switch a lot in this fight?
No, I just say he better, because if he stays in one stance, and if Errol Spence is capitalizing off that, he's gonna have to switch or he's going to bed early. He better have some tricks in his book.
Let me ask you a question. Who has Errol put to bed early?
Okay, when I mean early, okay, good point. Good point. I mean an accumulation of damage during the course of a fight. Good point.
Accumulation, that's over. Yeah, that's over time. I mean, that's
what I just said. Yeah, that's what I said. That was a misstatement. So let's say, for the sake of argument, over accumulation of getting attacked to the body and getting thoroughly beat up. You know, because Spence isn't that flash knockout guy. And you also make a good point, and that makes me think of something else. Which as a fighter would you rather have happen to you? A flash knockout, Bud hits you from a punch you don't see, you go down, maybe you make it through the fight, maybe you don't. Or this dude that's just gonna maul you and hit you and beat you for 6-7 rounds. Which is worse on a fighter?
I mean, everybody knows that a guy dominating you for over 12 is way worse than the guy just catching with a shot, because you can always say it was luck, even if it might not have been. You're always gonna say it was luck. It's definitely worse.
So a guy that's doing something on a consistent basis is luck.
I think he just froze up right now.
Oh,
there he is. He's back.
You bet.
Yeah, my fault. It's definitely worse to get beat down for 12 rounds, of course.
Yeah, and you got one dude that does this, and you got another dude that doesn't. I mean, we're talking about Bud, who went 12 rounds with Benavidez on one leg. Come on, man.
Hey, man, Errol went 12 rounds with small little Mikey.
Yeah.
Hey, and what did he say?
Hold on. Don't do that. Nobody believes that. I wanted to show the world I could box. I'm sorry, man. Ain't nobody want to hear that. I want to show the world I could outbox him. Man, he was trying to hurt that boy. Come on.
Mikey's a savvy boy. Come on, Mikey's a savvy veteran.
Yeah, he did hurt him, but he didn't knock him out.
But he hurt him. I'm going to tell you right now, Bud ain't knocking out Mikey Garcia if Mikey Garcia fights like that either.
Yeah, he's a savvy veteran, man.
No, I don't believe that. If Mikey Garcia fights, if Mikey Garcia does not want to, that's why it pisses me off about Sean Porter. If Sean Porter did not want to get knocked out, Sean Porter did not have to get knocked out. Sean Porter could have started going on a back foot, just moved around, slipped, let his head clear, go another round, get out there, move around, make Terrence Crawford come forward, put a high guard up, grab him. Those guys could have done that shit against Bud. Bud almost went 11 rounds with Jose Benavidez. If those guys at that level do not want to get knocked out, they will not get knocked. They will not get knocked out. And there's some other things. There's some cats you giving Bud a credit for knockouts and were not knockouts. He did not knock out Kell Brook. He did not knock out Amir Khan. Amir Khan
knock out Kell Brook.
No, he didn't knock out Kell Brook. They waved that shit off. He did not lay that dude down on the ground where that dude was knocked out. No, he didn't. Kell Brook fucking quit that fight. And same thing that Amir Khan did. Amir Khan quit that fight. As a matter of fact, Amir Khan hit him with a low blow, and then standing in the ring, all of a sudden they waved it off. No, man, he didn't knock out Amir. You didn't see him lay Amir Khan out. He didn't.
So let me ask you this. You technically what you're looking at is right, but if I have a fight with all three of you, and each three of the fights, I knock you guys down, and then your corner, so for some reason waves off the fight, that you become. There's a reason why they're doing it. These are all three different cornermen. Why is every time he hurts somebody, the corner looks and says, okay, we're gonna
man, because he's fighting Amir fucking Khan. Come
Amir
on, man.
Khan.
Now let's start. Now E-Money
Okay,
bags.
now go
Amir
to
Khan.
Cal Brook.
Okay,
stop. Amir Khan down.
E-Money bags. Be real. Amir Khan had been knocked out by Danny Garcia. He had been beaten by Lamont Peterson. He had been knocked out by Canelo. He'd been knocked out by Canelo Alvarez. That man is a walking glass jaw. And ain't no way in the world, ain't nobody but everybody knocking out Amir Khan, man.
Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Now,
I need admission. Before we move on,
I agree with you.
I need admission that him and Kell Brook are fucking tomato cans. Those are two tomato cans. Jose Benavidez is a fucking tomato can. The only the three legit welterweights that Terrence Crawford has beaten. Three legitimate guys where you're like, okay, these guys are not fucking just wastes of themselves. Was Jeff Horn, Sean Porter, and Igis Kalvanakis. Those are the only three legitimate welterweights that Bud fought. The other ones were fucking tomato cans, bro. And that is just on the real.
Yeah, but what we were talking about,
tomato cans.
But we were talking about was.
Hey, Fanon, you got a super chat.
Oh, my bad. Blacksmith Ross. Blacksmith Ross said, "Hey, looking honestly, Spence is a complete fighter, and honestly, Bud needs to fight the fights he did to grow into 147. Look, Porter pushed Spence and Bud push Spence and Bud earn the Porter win. Careful on Spence hero worship. I'm not hero worshiping, but I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm not going to tell you that, because somebody just said, well, tell me who Errol stopped early. I can tell you who he stopped early. He stopped Carlos Ocampo early. He stopped Carlos Ocampo in the first round with a body shot. I'm not going to talk about
tomato cans, though.
Huh?
He falls in a tomato can.
Exactly. That's my point. I'm not bringing up Carlos Ocampo, so leave Amir Khan the fuck out of it. I
never brought up Amir Khan.
Hold on. Leave Amir Khan out of it. Leave Jose Benavidez out of it. Leave Amir Khan and leave Kell Brook out of it, because all three of those guys were wasted themselves, bro. People were calling for Kell Brook to retire at least 2 years before that. Amir Khan has been having people talk about him being retired at least 2 years from that. Going into the fight with Amir Khan, the conversation about Amir Khan was, oh, he's never been knocked out at 147. That's what they had to sell that with. Come on, man. It's Amir Khan. Amir Khan got put to sleep by Danny Garcia. He got, straight up zipped, like body bag, dumped on the ground like a sack of fucking potatoes dropped. You can't get that man Bud no credit for no Amir Khan win.
But you got to remember the context of the argument. We're talking about because we're talking about knockouts, and we're talking about how every time we talk about we're talking about Porter and how he got knocked down, he got up, and then his dad waved the fight. And what we were talking about was, we named those three guys because those knockouts were all similar. And the point we were making was, it's one thing if, like, say I fought you and then I hit you, you get up and your corner waves you down. Okay, they might have stopped it a little early. Maybe Fanon didn't have the best camp, whatever. But if 4 different world champions do that, there's a reason why this keeps continually happening. Every time you hurt somebody,
my context of me saying it was this. I'm going to tell you the reason that I said it, because I was the one saying, Bud has got a chance to get that one punch knockout. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, when we counting how many people that actually happened to with Bud, dude, it legitimately happened to Igis Kalvanakis. It legitimately happened to Jose Benavidez, and it legitimately happened to Jeff Horn. Those are the three dudes that he really hit with something that they did not recover. Amir Khan did not get hit with something where he didn't recover. They stopped that in the corner after Amir Khan was hit with a low blow. That was not Amir Khan laid out on the ground. It just wasn't that type of knockout. It wasn't that type of knockout with Kell Brook either. Kell Brook got hit with something. He wobbled up against the ropes. Bud threw like a 3 or 4 point combination, and then the ref waved it off. He did not get hit with some shit that just dropped that dude to the deck like he did with Aegis Kalvanakis, and like he did with Jeff Horn, and like he did with just those two really. The rest of those things,
I gotta steal your line now.
Some of those stoppages, just like, man, he was out there with tomato cans, man.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. He's out there with tomato cans, and that's real.
I gotta steal your line now because after the Ugas Spence fight, what'd you say? You said the next person that fights Ugas gotta give Spence some money. Well, Spence should give Triple G some money because that boy's face, if that boy's face wasn't broke up like that, that fight would have. I don't think that fight would have. I think Spence probably would have still won, but it wouldn't have been no knockout.
Well, then that even further takes away from Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, I agree about the face part. Yeah,
I'm saying like if you do that, then you got to remember that even further takes away from Terrence Crawford.
I totally agree because my point on Kell Brook was whoever was managing him is like one of the worst in history because he was an undefeated IBF champion who moved up to fight a middleweight that other middleweights were scared to fight.
That was Eddie Hearn.
That was ridiculous. Like my regular middleweights were scared to fight Triple G at that time, and you make him move up 2 divisions.
Hey, hold on. Watch this. Somebody said I never seen a 27-year-old tomato can. Hold on 1 second. I'll show you a 27-year-old tomato can. What's this boy's name? Hold on. What's this boy's name? Let's see. This man's name is, in his next fight, is Jose Benavidez.
No, Junior.
Jose Benavidez.
I thought Benavidez fights Danny Garcia next.
He does.
Yeah.
He's probably going to go to bed.
Man, Jose Benavidez took a shotgun blast to the knee. Stop. That man took a shotgun blast to the knee. Like, does not have a knee. Come on, man. Let's be real. Anyway, yeah, Ocampo's trash. So is Jose Benavidez. So is Amir Khan. So is Kell Brook. They're all trash. And so was Aegis Kalvanakis because Aegis Kalvanakis got his ass knocked out by Virgil Ortiz in his very next fight.
In your opinion, what's Errol's most impressive win to you?
Ugas.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Ugas. To me, his most impressive win is Ugas. I would say Ugas.
I didn't expect you to say that. You threw me off with that one.
Yeah, I'll tell you why I say Ugas. Because I think Ugas had some losses earlier in his career, right? But other than that, dude, I think a lot of people think he beat Sean Porter. Errol Spence Jr. is coming off of a 2-year layoff, and he got in there and damn near killed that dude. And he looked much stronger. He looked very, very big. He showed that he could take a shot. So for me, I would say Ugas was probably his best win. Sean Porter, to me, I don't think he was at his best against Sean Porter. I don't think he was at his best against. Because one thing about Errol, and I think this, and I'll say honestly, I think is true about both of these guys. They're both very honest. Like I believe what Errol Spence Jr. says. And so when he fought Sean Porter, and he was like, "Look," or what's his name, Mikey Garcia, and he's like, "Look, man, I'm blowing up, really blowing up in between." His weight was really blowing up. I saw Errol. I mean, like first of all, I saw him spar for the Sean Porter fight. I saw him in person while he wasn't training, but in between those fights, and he was absolutely big, man. Like he looked affirmatively fat. Like versus where I saw him, I saw Errol at the from a distance. I saw, but not a very far distance. I saw him at the Ray Vargas versus Mark Magsayo fight. Now I'm telling you, man, that guy looks completely different in between fights, man. He looks completely different in between fights. He looked like he was in shape. Now I've seen Bud in between fights too, and Bud looks like he's in shape. Like he doesn't look as big as Errol, but he looks like he's in shape. Like he's somewhere close to fighting weight. That did not look like the case with Errol Spence. I believe when Errol Spence is saying that he was having fat camps and having to really get down in weight, and that he really wasn't his best going into the Mikey Garcia fight or the Sean Porter fight. But so when I see him actually fight against Danny Garcia, and it's like that was the first camp that he had where he was really like he was focused on training the entire time, and he got down and he was within weight, and he says, well, you know, I really feel like I was like, what did he say? He said he felt like he was only like 80%, something like that for Danny Garcia. And then he fights Ugas. The amount of improvement that I saw between those two fights in his physicality, makes me believe, okay, yeah, this dude looks like he's actually in the best physical shape and not having to go through the fight, and not going into the fight where he's like weak. So for me, I think that that's the best I've seen him look since maybe the Leonard Bundu fight. Like, because Leonard Bundu, he looked like a straight up killer. And then he didn't look as much like a killer during like the Sean Porter fight. It definitely and I'm going to just attest to this because it's a long time after. It didn't look like that in sparring. He looked like he was getting tired in sparring. He looked like he just didn't look as physically as strong as he did when I'm seeing him walk in between fights now. So, I would say for me, the best fight that I've seen him in is Yordenis Ugas fight, because Yordenis Ugas he's coming in on a high, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. And there are fighters that have losses early in their career, like Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins lost his first professional fight, and then he lost to Roy Jones Jr. early in his career. But then he hit that stride where he's beating the brakes off everybody. So that's why I say that.
If you're building a style to beat Bud, would it be anybody's style like Errol's?
It'd be Errol specifically, a southpaw pressure fighter. Absolutely. If I had to pick somebody to beat Bud, that's why I tell Bud people that I have Bud as my number one pound for pound fighter, but I got Errol winning the fight, because that style, any fighter that relies on figuring you out, like he'll lose a lot of feints, like a lot of hand feints, a lot of foot feints, a lot of head feints to see what you're going to do. And then he's doing the math on you. And after he does the math and he's like, okay, I'm going to set you up for this shot or that shot. Whenever you have a really, really good power, like a really, really good pressure fighter, and a pressure fighter that can make adjustments, you don't have all that time to do that. And so also the fact that I would say a southpaw, because Bud likes to fight in the southpaw stance. If you fight in the southpaw, Bud is constantly getting a southpaw advantage on everybody he fights, because he's fighting a bunch of guys that are orthodox fighters. So when he switches to the southpaw stance, which I think he does defensively, he can put his hand out and he can knock your jab down. And you'll have to work around and where you're actually fighting a southpaw. If he's fighting a southpaw, he's not able to do that. He's not able to like offset that jab as easy, because because those guys are fighting in a closed stance. His jab is actually in front. His backhand is in front of the jab, right? Just like a regular orthodox situation. So Bud can't switch into a southpaw stance for a defensive reason, because it puts him more offensively at risk. So if I was designing somebody to beat Bud, it would be somebody just like Errol, somebody that's attacking the body, somebody that's very defensively responsible, because Errol is very defensively responsible, bro. If you may hit him with one, that don't mean you're hitting him with two. Because I've seen him get hit with one. I've never seen somebody teeing off on Errol and hitting him with two. Hitting him with a boom, bop. I've never seen that. Most of it is one shot. If he gets one shot, Errol may reset, but then right after that, he's on that pressure. And he's a bigger guy with that pressure, like a Marcus Maidana against a Floyd Mayweather Jr. or Jose Luis Castillo versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. or like a Duran in the first fight against Sugar Ray Leonard. Those pressure fighters, man, pressure make pipes bust. That's me. Hey, real quick, Mike Hogan said, I think if Sean Porter had more power, he might have beat Crawford. Just my opinion. I mean, he may have if he didn't run into them shots. Much love in that super chat. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry we lost E Moneybags.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, no. Who do we lose? We lost.
We lost Holiday.
We lost Holiday.
Come back, Holiday.
So yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah. My thing, I feel like one of Spence's biggest weaknesses is he gets timed. I feel like he just hasn't been timed by the right person to expose it. But like when I watched the Kell Brook fight, he was getting timed a lot coming in and coming out. And I feel like Bud just does that so phenomenally that I want to see what happens when Spence gets frustrated. You know what I mean? I've seen him get hit with some shots and he shows like he'll crouch down and really sit down on some shots and he'll trade. He definitely has heart. But I want to see what happens when he gets frustrated. If Bud is able to do it, gets frustrated, then what's he going to do then? Because like we say he makes subtle adjustments, but that's the perfect word, the real subtle. But we never seen Spence make a big adjustment. And I'm wondering if his come forward, if he had at some point in that fight, we're all watching and we're like, okay, this coming straight forward style isn't working. He's getting timed. What exactly has he shown that he's going to do then?
I don't know, man. I haven't seen him lose a lot of rounds, honestly. So just on the real, I haven't seen him lose a lot of rounds. I saw him lose rounds against Sean Porter. But I haven't seen him lose. I have not seen him lose a lot of rounds.
And the reason, even though I bring up the Porter fight, I don't put a lot of stock in that because Porter, I can't name anybody that fights like Porter. So I can't say like, hey, that guy can do what Porter did because Porter's like, nobody really fights like him. So the shots he was getting, I don't see the other guys getting the shots in that manner because everybody knows Porter's kind of like kind of orthodox the way he just jumps in and out and uses athletic ability. Like I don't know. I don't think nobody really fights like Porter. But I did see Spence in that fight get buzzed a couple times by a guy that doesn't hit that people say doesn't hit that hard.
I never remember seeing him get buzzed, man.
Yeah,
I've seen. Now here's another thing. I've seen Buzz get buzzed the fuck up.
Yeah, Buzz.
By much smaller dudes that do not hit that hard, man. Much smaller dudes that don't hit like that hard. They do not hit that hard. But that's the real risk I think that there is for Terrence. Because Terrence gets clipped too many times by that dude. I think there's a serious chance due to him going to sleep. I think Errol hits hard enough to really, really hurt Bud. I think that because I don't know. I mean, he does get hit, but all these guys get hit, man.
Yeah.
What's going on? Hey, what's going on, Mr. Cleverly?
I think that's Steph B. That's Steph B. He said in the back chat that he's going to be in 1 minute. I think he might be getting his mic and everything adjusted.
Oh, okay, that's what's up.
Yo, Devin, what you think Bud and Spence weaknesses are?
With Bud, possibly he's just a little bit of a slow starter because I do know it takes time for him to fill out the rounds and everything, how the fight's going to go. Probably he leaves himself a little bit susceptible to a few punches. Up top. With Errol, some of the weaknesses, I would just say he's got decent movement. I'm not sure. Like he's very straight up and down. I just think that a lot of people haven't, like, a lot of weaknesses is probably really hasn't been pushed that much, or he hasn't really seen that many styles. He just stays in one kind of like southpaw stance. So, his ability to possibly adjust, he really never made adjustments or really needed to. So, if he's probably put in a position where a fight is really tough and everything else like that, how is he going to adjust, like going into super deep waters? That's what I think possibly what their weaknesses could be.
You did make a real good point when you said how he stands. He doesn't have a lot. You don't witness a lot of head movement with him when you do watch him fight.
Who is that?
No, he's just
Spence. Maybe because he's always on the offensive. Maybe that's why he doesn't really do it. But when you think about his fights, he doesn't. He has some subtle feints, but I think the way he just keeps that jab out there, and then once he walks you down.
Darren DeRosa. Darren DeRosa. First of all, dude, are you still what are you talking? Everybody on this panel can tell you when he was hurt. Everybody can tell you when he was hurt. Yeah. Hey, excuse me, Terry Schmoot, when was Bud hurt?
I believe against that Gamboa fight.
Do you remember that, E-Money Bags?
Yes, sir.
Was he hurt?
Definitely hurt.
Yeah, thank you. He did the stanky knees, bro.
He did the
stanky leg. All right, everybody know he hurt, bro. That wasn't the knee, dog. He got hurt, brother. Stop it. I ain't gotta make shit up now. Hey, let me get this. Oh, one quick before I get Blacksmith Rouse in that super chat. Let me get E. Stinson. E. Stinson said Brooke hits hard. Look at Bud's face. Yeah, Bud. Hey, dude. Hey, and Bud loses a lot of rounds, bro.
And he was losing that fight.
He was not pulling down. Man, shut up. That man got rocked. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. That man's legs did the whole buckle. His legs straight, both his knees buckled and connected like clack. Like he was doing. Man, stop that, bro. You know that dance? Wow. Do this? that dance that country people do? That man's name got rocked. Man, he got racked by Kavanaugh's.
This is true.
Come on, man. He got hurt, man. Yes, he did. And Blacksmith Ross said, I heard a lot of Bud weaknesses, cool, but I hear a lot of Spinks praise, no weakness, shared equally on both. I've seen both get hit. Spence gets hit during punches, throws wild, like in the Ugas fight. He did throw. He did look wild. But, dude, there's less flaws with Errol. I'm telling you on the real. There are fewer flaws with Errol.
Yes.
And I don't care what anybody says. There's less flaws with Errol because he's more fundamentally sound. He fights like this.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of holes in that, man. There's not a lot of holes in a guy that fights like that, that's always on balance, that has that fights behind a high guard. It's just not as many as when somebody fights with their hands down, throwing wide looping punches, looking to connect. Dude, like Roy Jones Jr. has more. That's why Roy got his ass knocked out later in his career. Floyd had and Bernard Hopkins, not so much. Bernard Hopkins was a lot more tight with his defense. Where you have somebody that relies on athleticism, it's just how it is, Blacksmith Ross. I'm not gonna make up weaknesses for Errol just because I'm like, well, I see 2 weaknesses for Bud. Let me make up a couple for Errol. I mean, it's just there's advantages that Bud has that Errol doesn't have. Bud will knock you out with one shot. I've seen it. Like he will clip you and hurt you with one shot. He will change his angles completely from southpaw to orthodox. He will fight on the back foot, move around, and do all that stuff. There's a lot of stuff that Bud can do that I've seen Bud do. I haven't seen Errol do. However, Errol is not allowing a lot of loosey-goose stuff going on, man. The dude is very defensively tight. Go ahead, though, man. That man said he was pulled down. He didn't get knocked down, dummy. Okay, he didn't get pulled down. Because he didn't go down. He just got rocked. He didn't get pulled. And then he came back and knocked the dude out, man. But dude definitely got hurt, man. What's going on, Mr. Cleverly?
I'm good, I'm good. I'm just running late. Let me let me get ready here. But that was good, Fanon. That was good. How are you doing this morning, sir?
I'm good, man. How about you, brother?
Pretty good. I'm gonna get that cup. Speaking of, how can I order one of those mugs that you're selling there? Where should I go to get that?
It's on Etsy. It's a store on Etsy. And
okay,
$7. Right. Can you put it in the link, bro?
I'll get one of those.
Let's man go said, boxing. Bro, harsher tone at me. Look, man. You challenged me. Dara, you challenged me. You said I challenge you to tell me. When you challenge me, you're gonna get the full funk of the challenge. You could have asked the question politely, hey man, have you ever seen Bud hurt? And I would have said, yeah, I've seen Bud hurt. But when you come with stuff like hush, you know what it is, bro. I'm gonna hush you. Shh. Get your ass out of here.
Dang.
Go ahead. Don't roast them.
Go ahead, man. Terry? E-Money.
There you go.
How you doing, Steph?
I'm good. Real fast, E. I'm running late, my bad. But I'm happy to be here, gentlemen. I'm happy to be here. I've been thinking about this for a couple days. I know Fanon gave us a shout out on a couple streams, couple days in a row. So I'm looking forward to be here. Yes, we're here. We're ready. I'll be right there in just 1 second. Go ahead.
With Blacksmith Ross, when we're talking about Errol's weaknesses, has anybody really seen Errol show the ability to fight off the back foot? I haven't really seen that. And I haven't
all the time, all the time. And
you think Errol fights off the back foot?
Yes, when need be, or even just in actionary, because I mean he's moving. Remember, he's controlling the distance.
Forward. Yeah, when you don't control the distance going backwards.
Well, what I mean by that is that, like, if someone's able to not necessarily press him, but he's moving, man. He's going backwards. He's fighting backwards. He definitely fought backwards in Porter. Definitely fought backwards with Danny. Definitely fought backwards with Mikey Garcia. Pretty much all the top talents. So, I mean, just go back and watch those fights.
I feel like those. I watched most, except for the Mikey. Other than the Mikey fight, I watched all those fights multiple times. I feel like he comes forward. I feel like his footwork isn't the smoothest, to be fair. And Devin really opened my eyes because I probably noticed it, but never said it out loud. Like, he is really
Lord Devin Haney, fan.
The head movement isn't as great, but like we said, we've seen Bud get buzzed doing different things, taking some chances, and I think to win this fight, I don't think that just coming forward doing what he's been doing, that could be a big reason why he wins the fight, but he's got to do something else, a little extra to win that fight, and I want to see what he shows the ability to do in these moments.
I think to win this fight,
do you think? Real fast, E.
That could be a
Outlaw Thomas, brother. You gotta mute your you gotta mute your channel or something.
He's good now, Fanon.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Man, I'm almost forgetting. Real fast, boy, have we had an encouraging week, right? You know, we saw Terrence being he was on Showtime. He was on the app. Everybody freaking out. Everybody throwing out dates and months, and boy, that was encouraging, right? I'm laughing because I'm like, I'm still waiting on the announcement.
We're hoping that we can get an announcement, that we can get everything official. They can get a press conference going.
Y'all
like this
funny,
should be
man.
hopefully getting done before the end of the year.
Okay.
I think November. I'm hoping for November.
Where is that coming from?
No, I'm saying I'm hoping.
I know, but like, where's November coming from?
Came from Mike Coppinger.
Oh yeah, Mike Cop. All right.
Yeah, one thing
That's
I will say
encouraging.
about this fight that I think nobody's going to realize, because they're both quiet dudes, I think these press conferences are going to be entertaining. I really do. I think. Like how Arrow was with Porter at the end of the post fight conference. I feel like that Arrow is going to be in the mix for in this fight leading up to the fight. I think they're going to be talking. I don't think this is going to be just both of them like, oh, he's good, he does that, yeah, I'm trying to win, I want to be in this. I think they're really going to be talking big shit.
Yeah, I got to say real fast that, you know, like, this is the most I don't know. It seems like the shit that Errol is talking lately, you know, not that it's uncharacteristic, or it is a little uncharacteristic because, you know, he's such a straight shooter, but man, he's been talking all that talk thus far, you know, ever since he called Bud out. And I think Errol will demolish him, man. I really do, just based off the styles. And then if we want to go by performances here lately, yeah, I think Errol would be. I'm not. What am I trying to say? Yeah, you could probably clearly see that Errol would win, but
when you say demolish him, are you saying knockout? You know, what are you saying?
Most likely, man, leading to a stoppage or TKO. I just, you know, with how busy with Errol and what he's doing, or I'll say this too, and if this was old Errol, if this was pre-accident Errol, man, he might go in there and you know, try to really seek and destroy and give y'all that pressing coming forward styling. But this Errol's a little more methodical. He's a little more calculated, and he seems like I heard from a little earlier. He's very much settled into the 47 weight. He looks good.
Is he
looks
more methodical? Or is he more methodical? Or is it better competition and he just hasn't gotten him out of there?
He got him out of there last fight, bro. Don't steal his knockout now.
Yeah.
He just got a knockout last fight, bro.
You talking about Ugas?
Yeah. He got him out of there.
But even you.
No, Ugas is good, man.
Fanon, you're the one that taught me though. That's not. We're not talking about. You know, you remember you taught me in the chat. It wasn't like no 10 count. It just the guy's eye just couldn't.
No. The way when the doctor stops the fight because you break his orbital bone, that is most definitely stopping somebody. Your daddy throwing in the towel. If you're going to give the man daddy throwing in the towel, you got to get a man a credit for breaking that man's eye socket.
Agreed.
What's up, Outlaw?
How you doing, Outlaw?
Good energy. Good morning, good brothers. Man, listen. One thing I want to challenge y'all to do is go back and watch Earl fight Peterson. He was dancing. He was moving. I think people forget how he changed up a little bit in that fight. Once he knew he started, coming downhill on him, you saw him kind of switching side to side on him. I don't think people really pay attention to that. I saw a guy last night actually talk about that, and I went and watched it. I'm like, oh, okay, I liked that. I challenge y'all to take a look at that and see, if you recognize the things that he was talking about.
What fight is that again, Outlaw?
The Lamont Peterson fight.
Yeah, the Lamont Peterson.
That was a brutal fight.
I saw him run right through him.
And
that was a brutal fight for Lamont.
That was going to be my point. When you're fighting somebody that you're having a pretty easy time with, you can play around and move a little freely because he knew after the second round, he knew Lamont couldn't hurt him, and he kind of was just doing what he wanted in that fight. But we haven't really seen him do it. Go ahead.
No, I agree. And I was going to say, I think that's why he was lunging when he was fighting you guys, because I think he felt what you guys had and wasn't worried about it.
But
So,
I
he started.
everybody talks about the shot where Errol wasn't looking to spit the mouthpiece out, but the shot before that was a really good. I think it was an uppercut or like a cross. It was a really good shot for the reason why.
You mean the one that knocked out the mouthpiece?
Yeah, the one that knocked out the mouthpiece. I think that was a heck of a shot that everybody talks about the shot after that he just hit him clean because we don't know if the ref was gonna get in between for the whole mouthpiece thing. But the shot before that, I've seen a couple little clips where people slow that down and then speed it back up. Like he looked buzzed on that shot. And Ugas isn't known as a world beater when it comes to power. So
what I saw with that, I disagree a little bit. I thought it was more of a glancing shot because it kind of clipped him and knocked the mouthpiece out. Like it wasn't all the way in, and that's kind of something he alluded to, is when he said that his mouthpiece doesn't fit completely in his mouth with the new teeth. Like he kind of mentioned that, and I felt like it clipped him on the chin where it slipped out, but I didn't think he was hurt. You know what I mean? I didn't think he was hurt. Maybe I got to go back and take another look.
But do you really believe that though? These are guys that's doing how much sparring? If he had a mouthpiece issue, you don't think that would have got taken care of by now?
Well, that's the second
for
fight
a while now.
That's the second time it happened, he said. So I'm only taking him for his word. Like Fanon said, he's a straight shooter. I never really thought he was, saying anything to bullshit us,
But if there's any time a straight shooter's going to lie, it's going to lie about being hurt and why you got hit with a big shot.
I don't think that makes you a straight shooter.
No, that's boxing. That's just personality of boxing. Guys always say, like, when a guy's shaking his head in a fight like that didn't hurt, he got hurt.
Look, man, Ugas is one of the best, is a better inside fighter than Bud is. Ugas is better. That's Ugas's bread and butter is the inside. And yeah, I think he did get hit with that hook inside and got that mouthpiece knocked out of his mouth. And he may have been a little bit buzzed, which is why he lost focus and went and picked up his mouthpiece. It could have been buzzed. But one thing that I will tell you is like that is inside like that. That's where Ugas is the best, man. Ugas is one of the best fighters in boxing, definitely in the welterweight division, fighting on the inside. That's what he likes to do. But Ugas isn't somebody that typically likes to fight on the outside. Really, Errol beat Ugas, just got done beating a guy on the inside who's a better fighter on the inside than Bud. I've never seen Bud fight like Ugas does on the inside. Bud fights from the mid-range and out, and I saw Ugas, every time I've seen Errol really get caught, it's been on the inside. It's not been really at mid-range or somebody catching him at long range, like with a wide hook. It's something right on the inside. I've not seen, and Bud, Errol, so like even where Errol's weaknesses are to me, where he's gotten hit has been up close inside. Bud is not known for beating up people on the inside. He's catching cats on the mid-range coming in, or he'll catch somebody at long range with some stuff, like an uppercut at range.
Right.
Am I wrong about that, E-Money-Bag?
No, you're absolutely right, but that helps my point because I feel like when Errol's coming forward, because like he's gonna have in this fight, Errol's gonna have to do a lot of resetting because Bud's not always gonna be right in front of him there's gonna be times where Errol's gonna corner him and do his thing, but like when you watch the Ugas fight, they're in the pocket in the middle of the ring, which was like I'm like wow, like he's not gonna move like that, and you're right because Ugas likes to be there too. But Bud's not going to do that. He's going to have to reset. And when I just feel like at some point you reset
because he'll be backing up. He'll be backing up.
See, I don't agree with that, bro. I think that dude is going to be exactly where Errol wants him to be, right there in that pocket.
Well, that's what I essentially mean too. And to piggyback off that, Fanon, like that's where Errol is good. He's controlling that, literally controlling that. The distance.
Isn't that what Coach said?
Distance, man. Those guys ain't standing there just because they want to stand there.
He's in the middle of the ring.
If you're
in the middle of the ring, you're standing there.
Dude, I do not know. They're not just standing there,
man.
Those
your boy was trolling and said he would.
Or they're moving left or they're moving right. When they move back, Errol moves forward. When they move to their left, Errol's moving to his right. When they move to their right, Errol's moving to his left. Dude, Errol is like that's one thing that Derek James said. And he was not talking about somebody talking shit. Derek James was very bold about it. He's like, look, man, Father T-Boy, if the mic is loud, I'll turn my mic down a little bit. Turn your headphones down. Errol makes people fight there. It's not their choice. He's not. It's not like that. I think people underestimate how Errol's foot speed, man. That dude keeps people, and he does move backwards. Whenever somebody moves forward, you'll see Errol move backwards, and he'll maintain that same spot. He will
fight off the back foot.
Huh?
He moves backwards. Like, yeah, he definitely moves backwards when people come forward. He's not ready to engage, but he doesn't necessarily fight good off the back foot. I don't think I don't think anybody here can name a point in time where you're like, wow, that fight, Errol was really impressive fighting off the back foot. But nobody's really made him do it. I will man enough to admit that. I've never really seen nobody really forcing to, but I think Bud will force him.
So one thing, kind of, not to cut you off, sorry about that, brother. But Sean, what's his name? Big Mouth from Bradley. He finally admitted it last night on somebody's show that he rewatched some of Earl's fights, and he's like, he does make adjustments. He actually can fight off the back foot. If you all get a chance to check that out, Tim Bradley last night was saying, he had to, kind of re-look at it because after watching some of Earl's fights, he actually can see how he fights off the back foot. He actually sees how he does make adjustments. He moves. So I think, I think we're going to see something different, man.
I think sometimes people forget that fundamentals is talent too. I think people don't think Errol's like a talented fighter. I think when they see Bud switch a lot of times, they think that just makes you so much more super talented than somebody else. I think Errol does have a lot of wrinkles and things he can do. I just don't think, like, when we always talk about the opponents that Bud has fought, and I agree they haven't been the best, but he's fought who he can fight. I agree that on the other side, Errol, these guys haven't really made Errol do these things. So yeah, you might have these little things, or you might can pull up a clip of he can do that. But can you do 12 rounds of it? Can you do 7 rounds of it to win? Because I do feel like Bud is going to time. If you watch that Brook fight, Brook was timing a lot of Errol's shots coming in. I think Brook's one of the best. What?
Not me. Sorry about that.
I thought somebody said something. Oh, bless
hey,
you.
let me get these two super chats real quick. Hey,
brother.
MJ said, look, if you watch Errol closely, he specifically creates space in order to throw his left hook. He does this by stepping back. He has an incredible jab. And much love in that super chat. Also, my man Hunter Young said when he was sparring Floyd was Floyd not moving? Look, man, these guys, I just think, dude, cutting off the ring is real. Cutting off the ring is real.
Yeah, that's of course.
And you have to be able to move to do it. It just kind of makes it look like because a guy is standing there that he wants to stand there. Them dudes don't even want to stand there. They just can't get away from the dude, especially if you get a bunch of body shots and, you taking a bunch of jabs to the pit of your stomach. That should be messing with your legs. Go ahead, though, man. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, to the person that said something about the Floyd sparring, I mean, I don't think anybody has even seen this footage, like seeing seeing Bigfoot. Like, I don't know what happened. So I'm not going to talk about that because I doubt the person that said that even seen that footage. So I don't know what happened in that sparring session. But the fights we've actually seen, to be a pressure fighter, you have to have good footwork. But so nobody, I mean, you can't be a good pressure fighter and not have good footwork. You got to know how to cut the ring off, set traps, and keep a guy where you want him. But what I'm saying is, like, I was talking about the middle of the ring when you brought up Ugas. You were right. Ugas does like that style. So if he's already at a place where he wants to be, then he's going to stand there. But I'm saying Bud's not going to sit in the middle of the ring and be in the pocket with Errol. That would be retarded. You might as well just give him the fight. But where I'm really interested to see is I think we all could agree that we think Errol's going to get at least 3 out of the first 5 rounds at least, because we all know Bud starts slow. But when Bud realizes, like, okay, I might be down some rounds and I got to turn it up, that's where I want to see where the fight goes.
I can agree with that. Yeah, I definitely can agree with that. I think that's what's going to get him in trouble.
Because if you show any point where, if you ever thought Errol was hit, even after Ugas hit Errol with the good shot that knocked the mouthpiece out and the shot after that, you can make the point that Errol came right back down the pipe and got right back.
He won that round.
Yeah,
he still won that round.
He got right back in there. Like, it wasn't a lot of time left, but he got right back in there. And I don't know, against a guy like Bud, if that's the best thing. Like, after you get hit with some steam, you should probably like back up and regroup. And I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think it's in his nature.
There's that link, Blacksmith Ross. I put it in there.
Blacksmith Ross about to come in here.
He said put the link in there, so I put the link. I'll be shocked if he comes, but
you know he's coming for you, Fanon.
Man, y'all ain't coming for me.
I'm
telling you, man, I just don't buy. I think people talk more about Errol Spence Jr.'s flaws than they do about Bud's. And this whole flat-footed thing with Errol, to me doesn't make sense because people the guy literally cutting off the ring. Like, it's something that is where you think this man may not be as fast as he really is. He's just not moving all around the ring, man. And you know, shifting from left, shifting to right, dipping out under corners and doing all that stuff. That is the number one. That doesn't mean he can't do it. But at the same time, just the idea that everybody that he fights, he's got 28 fights or so, and he's fought world-class fighters. He's fought world-class fighters, and the idea that people are just choosing to stay there and get beat up to the body, to me, just doesn't make sense. What's more likely is that there's something about him that is keeping them from getting away from him. And I see Mexican fighters do that stuff all the time. Those guys cut off the ring, you know, like you step right, they step to their left. You step left, they step to their right. You go forward, they come forward. You go backwards, they come forward. And some people are just in a situation where you're not going to be able to get away from guys. Like when Floyd Mayweather Jr. fought Jose Luis Castillo, he was not able to get away from him, man. Jose Luis Castillo, and this is when Floyd had every bit as good a footwork as Bud does, better footwork than Bud. But why did he have to fight Jose Luis Castillo like that? He had to fight him like that in both fights too, because Jose Luis Castillo knows how to cut the ring off, man. And that's a matter of geometry. You know what I mean?
But in the second fight, what did he, in your opinion, I want to see if we're in agreement here. In the second fight, what did Floyd do better where it didn't look the same in the first fight?
What did he do better? He caught him more on the inside, and he swung out to the left, but he was able to catch him on the inside more. He ran off better combinations on the inside.
I agree. He, like in the second fight, he knew he was going to have to throw more shots, and I think Bud is going to realize, and that's what that's the biggest part I want to see.
In the first fight, if Bud is telling the truth, I mean, if Floyd's telling the truth, he had a hurt hand in the first fight, so he really couldn't sit down and really hit him as much as he could with his right hand as he could in the second hand. It was, you know, in the second fight, he was able to throw his right hand harder, and he was able to get more respect out of Jose Luis Castillo. But the fact remains, though, that just like in the Marcos Maidana fight and just like in the Miguel Cotto fight, Floyd was not getting away from Cotto. He had to sit there and he had to be able to fight Cotto. He had to slip shots and hit and have a fight that was not much different than with Errol Spence Jr. and Sean Porter, where, you know, Floyd was getting caught with a good amount of stuff from Cotto, but Cotto can cut off the ring. So he was not able to just slip in, slip out, and do all that stuff. It was a point in time where he had to sit down and he had to fight Cotto. He had to fight, unlike guys like what's his face? Canelo Alvarez, who was not able to cut off the ring on Floyd. Floyd was able to get in and get out, fight, get distance from him when he wanted to. But certain dudes, you're just not going to be able to do that with a guy that is a really good pressure fighter. And Errol is a very good pressure fighter. So for me, it's like Terrence is going to have to deal with that. And then now, if he can deal with that, if he can hit and not get hit right there in the pocket, then it's going to be a hard night for Errol. If Bud can hit him and not get hit in the pocket, if he can slip shots, counter, and do all that stuff, and got Errol swinging at the air and at mid range, then dude, give me Bud all day. I'm just telling you that jab, the fact that in the style is a favorable style. It is what has me thinking that, but I know that Bud has got the ability to do, and it's not like Errol is undefeatable. Where you at, Blacksmith Ross? Thought you was coming, man. I dropped the link, but go ahead, E Money Bags. You're doing an excellent job as a Bud fan today, I have to say. Hats go off.
Listen, I'm gonna use your line, man. I like both of them, man. I just lean towards Bud is all, man. I just lean towards Bud.
I think the closer the fight is getting, I'm starting to see people change their opinions on who's going to go first, who's going to win that fight.
Yo, that's a hell of a point, because I know plenty of dudes. I'm like, 6 months ago, you was Bud this, Bud that. Now it's like, nah, man, Spence, man. I just think that pressure gonna be too much.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree with that.
So I mean, I'm just anxious. I need a date, so I'm saving my money.
Oh, I know. I'm just listening, sir.
I'm ready for this fight. I hope it's not, I mean, I would have preferred it be in Dallas, but we know Bud don't want that. So,
I mean, that's only right. You don't. The last thing you want to do is say that's a 115, 113 fight, and then Bud can go in that post conference like, if we weren't in Dallas, it wouldn't have happened. You don't want to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that.
Well, I hear they're trying to do rematch clauses anyway. So, let's see what's up. Let's.
I mean, but we got two. When you got two guys that both have no L's, you don't. I mean, you don't want a rematch clause is cool, but you don't want any losses. And I just think it's best that Vegas or California, somewhere where it's just going to be the location of where the.
Yeah, I'm listening.
No, go ahead, brother.
I was gonna say, I think LA would be too small. Staples Center isn't that big. I think they would want to get like as many bodies in there as possible and make as much money as possible. I think it's gonna be Vegas. I would prefer Raider Stadium, but we'll see.
I think it's gonna be in a casino because the casino.
Yeah. I'm not big on the football stadiums. At least American wise, we don't seem to. I don't know. I just take bad feel on that. But I think it's going to be in Vegas. I mean, this is a Vegas fight, gentlemen. This is a big fight.
Definitely.
This is a mega fight. There's a lot of money that needs to come through, especially on the back end, and of course the black market in there. So,
speaking of gambling, I got a good question for you, Fanon. Do you think the betting is going to on the Bud side for Bud wins? Do you think it's going to be a better odds on a Bud knockout or Bud win by decision?
Oh man, I'm not really the best with gambling, man, but I would have to say.
No. I'm just saying, like, because when you talk to people about how do you think Bud's going to win, you don't hear many people say, "I think Bud can win."
I don't see Bud winning a decision, man, unless
that's my point. That's my point. So
winning a decision,
like,
see him being behind on them cards badly. Honestly, after 6 rounds, I see him being. I see 6 rounds at round 6, 6-0. And cats being in Bud's ears talking about, Bud, you behind, and them saying how. Because
if we got a wrench, can we mute Fanon?
What?
I said, when you gave us our wrench, and we allowed, can we mute you? No. Don't work. Oh, I'm just checking. I want to know my wrench powers, but if you just said 6 in a row, come on now, man. I got 6 in a row.
I got 6-0. I
say 5-1 maybe.
It will be 6-0.
I think maybe
somebody
5-1.
said.
If he don't knock him down, that's just gonna be 6-0. Because look what happened with him and Sean Porter.
But he turned it on afterwards.
Everybody's winning rounds on Bud, dude. Everybody's winning rounds on Bud. Everybody that you've seen the last several fights, every one of them will win. But he does not press the action in the beginning of the fight, dude. He's going to be figuring you out, and Errol's going to come out with a jab. Jab, 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 jab. Pressure jab. That's rounds for Errol. I'm just telling you, the rounds are going to get put in the book because Errol throws a lot of punches from the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
So I don't see how you're going to win a round when you got a guy coming forward throwing jabs at you, and you are looking for counter punches, and maybe one of them gets there, maybe they don't. But dude, he was down on the scorecards after 6 to Sean Porter, and Sean Porter couldn't find him with the jab, but Sean was still up on the cards after 6 rounds.
I feel like Porter. I feel like Porter was throwing just enough more shots than Bud to win those rounds. But like you said, Errol's going to be throwing a lot of shots, which means there's going to be a lot more. So that could be going. So then that's a lot of opportunities to get hit with some jabs,
man. He's throwing a lot of
jabs. I'll tell you one thing.
A lot of hooks. He's throwing a lot of jabs.
He better not wait.
I've never seen Errol Spence Jr. down in the fight off the scorecards. And I've never seen Bud, and I have not seen Bud dominate the first half of a fight. I've just not. He fights slow. He comes in, and he's trying to figure and solve a problem. You try to solve a problem against a pressure fighter, you're going to be down on the scorecards because this guy's going to throw 3 times as many punches in a round. Errol's going to throw 3 times as many punches in a round than Bud, and that's a fact. He's just going to come out with that first round he's throwing 100 punches. Bud may throw 10. If Bud throws 10, 15 punches, this guy throws 100, this dude's going to get the round. That's nothing against Bud. That's just saying. I'm just saying that's just a fact. You get in there against a volume puncher, and you're not a volume puncher. If you don't land something big and hurt that dude, you're gonna lose a round. Just how it works. Mark Magsayo, look at Mark Magsayo versus Mark Magsayo versus Gary Russell Jr. Gary Russell Jr. didn't start winning until the second half of the fight when he started catching him, started pot shotting him, catching him with one shot at a time. But when Mark Magsayo was going there, throwing it, dude, they especially Vegas scores for the aggressor. That's how these guys be getting up on them cards like that, man. If you're not able to catch this dude that's throwing a lot of volume in between the shots, you're going to be down on the cards. And if Bud comes out like Bud usually does, Bud after 6 rounds is going to be down on the cards. I'm sure a couple of y'all are going to give him rounds. You be like, oh, I really like that hook that didn't land or whatever. But he more than likely is going to be down on that card. If he's not down 6-0, he's going to be down 4-2 for sure. And that's just unless he catches him. Because just purely off the amount of punches that man throws, bro. Joe Schmo in the building. I think is that Black with Rob? He disappeared. What's going on, Joe Schmo?
What's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
yes, sir. Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. This is my first time coming on. I just want to say salute for Nah. As like a younger boxing fan, this is where I come and like get all my notes and stuff, go back and do all my studying. So I really appreciate you coming on every day and doing a new Saturday show.
Hey, hold on. You know worries, man. Hey, hold on one second. Days Manette said, you know damn well Bud ain't going to start slow. How do I know that?
He does it any other time.
If he starts slow every other time, why would I think he's going to start fast against Errol? That doesn't make no sense. You're trying to tell me he's going to do something he don't do. Bud does not start fast. Bud starts slow. Errol starts fast. Just a fact, man. That dude is throwing up those. Go look at his CompuBox. Look at how many punches the guy throws. He comes out and he's throwing 100. He's throwing 70, 80 punches around from round one. And it goes up from there, dude. It is what it is. But what you talking about, Joe Smo?
All right. I just wanted to chime in on the Bud and Spence talk a little bit. I see what you guys mean about the adjustments, but I think you guys are kind of overvaluing the actual adjustments instead of looking at can they actually fight in different styles. Because I feel like Errol, when he goes into a fight, he never really has to make any adjustments. And I feel like he does make adjustments, and you can see it in his corner with Derrick James, but they're more like subtle adjustments in terms of like punch placement adjustments. Because his game plan initially is already good enough to beat who he's fighting. And I feel like it's kind of the same with Bud. Like if you look at his fight with Mean Machine, he went in there with one style and he did not change his style through adversity or whatever.
Real quick, you dipped out real quick. Black Preacher Man, go ahead. Let me get these 2 super chats real quick. Black Preacher Man Sports Caleb said, who has the best chance of an early stoppage? Bud got a best chance at early stoppage. MJ said Errol is going to walk Bud down the entire fight. I'm telling you now, if Bud isn't on that bicycle and keeps himself in the fight by actually throwing meaningful punches, he's going to go down on the cards. Yeah, that's what I see. Much love in that super chat to both y'all, man. Thank y'all for that support. It means the ton. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry, Joe Schmo.
Oh, that was pretty much it. I'm just saying, like, neither Errol or Terrence are really making adjustments during these fights. I feel like you guys are just crediting Bud as saying he makes more adjustments or whatever because he normally fights in different styles. But if you look at the Benavidez fight, he fought the same 12 rounds the same exact way on the back foot. He just caught him later in the fight. The Porter fight, he fought the same way. Mean Machine through the 6 rounds or however long it went, he fought the same exact way. Even when he got dropped or whatever, you could hear Ward saying it like, he's not going to make adjustments. Just stop calling for it because he came to fight today. So neither of them are really making adjustments. I just don't think you guys are giving Errol enough credit for his versatility.
I can agree with that. One thing about it, you only have to make adjustments when something's not working.
Exactly.
So, like, what's the point? If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, and to the point of Errol's, like, versatility, I feel like he's extremely versatile. Like, the way he fought Ugas, he didn't fight Mikey that way. And Mikey No matter what you guys want to say, Mikey was pound for pound going into that Spence fight, like a top 5 pound
Number
for
4
to beat a top 5 pound for pound guy in a style that you never really even shown before. I think that says something. I don't think he gets enough credit for it.
Oh, they don't give him that credit, Joe Smo. not the Mikey Garcia win.
He doesn't get the credit because that was his first fight at welterweight. He hasn't.
See,
that's his fault. See, that's his fault.
He doesn't have
Accountability.
That's a valid point. That's not nothing to laugh at. If you move up from 140 to 147 and you don't have a win, if that would have been Bud, what would y'all have said? If Bud would have did the Mikey,
that would have been
Canelo got credit for being Kovalev
on his resume. If Bud beat Mikey, that's his best win to date, no matter what weight class. Bud never. When did Bud fight a top 5 pound for pound guy? He made
Gamboa.
I don't know. He was not as decorated. He was not number 4 on the pound for pound list.
Yeah, he was a pound for pound fighter. He was a pound for pound, and he was undefeated.
Was he?
Yeah, he was undefeated, and he was pound for pound.
Undefeated.
Gamboa was the favorite in that fight.
Yeah.
He wasn't top 5 pound for pound.
I'm gonna have to go back and check that.
No, you don't have to. I know. Gamboa was the favorite in that fight. He wasn't top 5 pound.
Yeah, he was the favorite, but he wasn't top 5.
I don't think he was top 5.
He was like the top 10. I think he was top 10. I think it was like top 10.
I don't even think that.
Top 10.
But Mikey doesn't have a win.
Oh man, y'all trying to make that sound a little too good.
Yeah, Mikey doesn't. No,
somebody look that up in the comments for me, please.
No, seriously, bro.
What in the comments?
Was definitely undefeated. Gamboa was undefeated against when he fought Terrence.
No. I know that, but I don't think he was pound for pound.
Huh?
I don't think he was pound for pound.
Oh, I know he wasn't top. I don't think Gamboa's ever been top 5 pounds.
So but we were just right then and there comparing it to Mikey, which Mikey was top 5 pound for pound.
But that doesn't mean anything if you made your pound for pound bones at 135 and you move up to 147.
Bud has made his bones at a lower weights at pound for pound.
And Mikey was also
you've been impressed with 47.
Mikey was a champion at 140.
Yeah, he was. He beat Easter, and he was. Yeah, I agree with that. But
he beat Lipinets.
Huh?
He beat Sergey Lipinets for a title at 140.
Yeah, we're talking about 147.
No, but you're saying he skipped 2 divisions and stuff. Like he never fought at 140.
I didn't say he skipped 2 divisions. I knew he was a unified champ at 140. I would never say he skipped 2 divisions. He beat
But
Easter.
you just discounted that when Bud made his name at lower weights. Is where I was going.
Because you didn't let me finish. What I'm saying is this: yeah, a lot of fighters make their name at lower divisions. But okay, so if you're Mikey and you were a beast at 135, you were a beast at 140. But you weren't a beast at 147. But if you're Bud and you was a beast at 135,
Bud ain't no beast at 47.
Bud is the pound for pound best fighter in the world, and he's a WBO champ.
Recognition flow, homie.
Oh my God!
I think this is just a really bad cop out. Because just imagine if
that really was to me.
If Terrence Crawford goes up right now and fights Jermell Charlo, nobody's never going to say, "Well, he never won at 154 yet." Nobody's going to say that.
No. What are you talking about? If he goes and fights Jermell Charlo, the first thing they're going to say, "Oh, we don't know if his power is going to carry at 154. He's never been hit by a guy at 154." They're going to talk about that the whole fight. They're going to talk about those.
That's all talk to me. He's not even going to move up to 54.
Yeah, he is going to move up to 54. Anybody that talks about
you say he is? E-Money, you say he is?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
So after he loses to Earl, he's going to move up to 54.
Anybody that moves up, they're going to talk about, hey, does this guy's power carry?
That's not true.
Those guys are too big for him. That's what I think.
Who's too big for him? Who's too big for him?
All of those guys. It would be selective fights, but I don't think he's moving to 54. I think that's all talk. I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying, he's not, guys. Those guys are too big.
His next 2 fights are going to be against Earl. After Earl wins the first one and the second one, he'll retire.
Bro, I'm going to be honest.
How sure are we about that real fast, gentlemen? How sure are we about this will be a rematch? This is a 2-fight. This is a 3-fight, whatever y'all want to call it. Because
it's going to be a rematch regardless.
I think I don't think so at all.
I don't think it's
What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen to prevent it from being a rematch?
I'm just going to hang on the fruit of Errol fighting him one time and moving on, man.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's gonna be two fights for sure.
I don't see a reason for Bud to leave 147. Even if he do lose to Arrow, bro, I don't see anybody. Even Boots, bro. I honestly, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you.
Oh, what's up, Stay Dangerous?
The eye shit looks nice, bro, but I don't see Boots beating Terrence, bro.
Hey, you know what? My nephew just said that yesterday. He thinks that Boots actually loses to both of them.
Boots get hit a lot.
And I don't know if he gets hit a lot, but I haven't seen him in a war. I haven't seen him really have to GAD.
Yeah. Boots gets hit a lot, and his dad says because he wants to get hit, but that's a lie, bro. Nobody wants to get hit.
Yeah. I think somebody might be listening to it in their background.
Yeah, because I hear an echo.
So what we was talking about was the whole Mikey thing. Like, if you don't like, because you were comparing Bud about getting his name in a lower division, but he has wins and a belt. Once you like, if you're moving up in a division, I don't care how you got the belt. If you got wins at that division, and you're a champion in that division. He's been a champion for I don't know, at least 4 years. So at 147, then you know that he can handle 147. Mikey doesn't have any type of legitimacy at 147.
Neither did anybody if they're moving up. I mean,
hold on. But they eventually got it. But Mikey never got it.
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah, Mikey was retired.
That's totally fine. That's totally fine.
Mikey came back and he won his next fight at 147.
Against who?
Against Vargas.
Excuse me.
I was at 45, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah, his fight with Bro was at 143.
Look. So just because Mikey didn't have a belt at 47 doesn't mean
he doesn't have a legitimate win at 147. I don't care about the belt. He doesn't have a legitimate win.
I feel like once you're a pound-for-pound fighter, that's fair. But he's a pound-for-pound fighter. That's like Errol Spence. Once he goes to 154, it's the same for him. Nobody's going to say, if he loses, nobody's going to say, well, he didn't have a win at 154. No, you beat Errol Spence.
No, they are going to say.
Nobody's going to say that.
They are going to say if he goes to 54 and he lands shots, and they're like, well, if he would have hit that guy at 147 with that same shot, he would have at the very least been hurt. Or if he hits that guy at 154 to the body with that body attack. Well,
do you think that E-Money?
I think I thought the shots that Mikey was hitting Arrow with did not phase him at all.
Mikey barely landed anything the whole fight.
I was like,
why was that? Why was that?
Because Mikey saw he couldn't win, and he basically
he was getting hit by he was finally getting hit by a real 147-pound fighter, and he couldn't take it. Mikey's a kung fu fighter.
Oh man,
yeah, I think
that's a fact.
Hey, real quick, Stone Alone said, "Hey, good morning, Fanana in the chat. Salute to the brothers on the panel. Yes, sir. Thank you, Stone Alone. Much love in that super chat, brother. Thank you for that support."
Where's Terry? Bro. Terry, you still here?
Nah, he's not in.
Terry busy.
It's
early over here on the West Coast.
What did he say?
He said he couldn't get logged in.
Yeah, I saw that. I put another link in there. Hopefully, he'll get it on this one.
Okay.
Have you guys? Or go ahead, E-Money. You were still talking, sir.
No. I said what I said. Go ahead.
Okay. Not to change subjects so rapidly or so quickly. Have y'all talked about Ryan Garcia?
Yeah. Blacksmith House in the building. What's going on, brother?
Blacksmith.
Ryan said, "Floyd, you can get it too."
Oh no.
Yeah. Can't hear him.
He said you can't hear us. No?
Oh, he can't hear us. We can't hear him.
Unmute yourself.
No, can't hear you.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
You want to back out and come back in? That's what I had to do earlier.
Okay. All right. Well, you work on that, sir. In and out.
What was you saying about Ryan, though?
No, I was just asking about him because some of the boxing following circles that I follow, he's been talked about a lot here recently. But to just skip to it and get to my opinion, I don't think he's that at all. I like Ryan. I think he's very talented. I think he's got power for sure. But to the guys he's compared to, his contemporaries, I don't think he's on that level. Not at all. And I definitely haven't seen anything to make me believe that he's on that level. So
what contemporaries are we talking about? Can you name the guys?
You know, the Tanks, the
35.
Devins, the Tszyus, and so forth.
I think
The only
Ryan is
guy I don't think he's
definitely
not level
about
is
the
Tank.
same level as the Devin or Tszyu. He's about right there.
Yeah, I think he's just not on Tank's level, in my opinion.
I think no, I don't think he's on Haney's level.
I think Ryan below both all the guys.
What was that?
And
Stay
I think
dangerous.
Ryan.
Right, there you go.
Oh, there you go. Can you say something, Blacksmith?
Ryan Garcia, he played football. He would play special teams.
I like that.
Right. I like that. I'll take that. Hey, hang on 1 second. I want to see if I can hear Blacksmith. Blacksmith, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. All right, I can hear you. Yes, sir. I can hear you. What's up, man? Welcome in.
Oh man, I was having man. Hey, good morning to y'all fellas. Or afternoon to others.
Good morning.
Depending on the time stuff. Oh, the Bud and Spence fight. Look, been watching boxing for a lot of years, even participated in it when I was younger. Older brothers, man, you know how it is. You grow up a crybaby, your brothers and cousins beat you up and make you get in the gym, you know what I mean? So, you know,
That's a fact.
That's my history in boxing, man. I got beat up a lot. Hey, but look, check it out. No, we gotta give Spence some credit, man. I mean, Spence is a complete fighter. I mean, straight up and down. I mean, he jabs a lot. He has the reflexes to go backwards and forward. It's kind of like yin and yang. If you come at him, you jump backwards, throw 3 jabs. And if you're not doing that, he'll come forward and you're being passive. And he's not being flashy. He's not going to have 10 different ways to throw a jab. He might throw a jab 3 or 4 different ways, but then all that is best. He don't have to look like Pernell Whitaker. He don't have to look like Roy Jones. No matter what he is, that's not his style. But with his strength comes weakness. He goes all fighters. He fight like Floyd or fighters he fight like Chavez. He's nothing but a bigger and faster version of Julio Cesar, but with more smart, meaning more athletic. He's able to use his abilities, but it's on a grand scale. He reminds me of a mix of B-Hop with Mike McCollum. Very smart boxer, tight like B-Hop, but he'll destroy your body. That's a dangerous combination. You know, but you might have a lot of tools in the toolbox. And it's much.
What are some Blacksmith? Real fast, Blacksmith. What are some of those tools? I've been trying to figure that out too. Say again.
Are you asking me the tools in the toolbox of Bud? What are those?
Yes, sir. I love to hear. I love to hear.
I'm glad you asked. So even though he might start slow, we can go with the weaknesses. So let's go with the pluses. Bud does have good defense. They both do. Bud throws the jab and varies the speed. He's not super fast, but he's fast enough. Remember, Bud came for 135. Am I right?
Right. He's a natural 35-pounder. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So he's not really slow. He should be a little bit faster. Granted, gaining weight probably slows down a little bit, but only he came for 135. He throws a variety of punches, great counter punches, moves left and right, thinks a lot, while thinking he's still being active. He's not sitting out there just thinking and not doing nothing. He's being active. He's trying the basic stuff before he throws the more advanced stuff. Yeah, both players do that, but they both have to do fast styles. And so, yeah, he might be switching here and there, but like Nan said, when he's switching, that's towards a regular fighter. You know, two southpaws are gonna be a little bit different. We yet to see if Bud has something in the toolbox for a very advanced southpaw. That's fair. That's his credit. But I've just seen more from Bud than Spence. That's just my opinion based on watching all this fights. I watched all Spence fights. I watched the Spence Warrior fight twice. I mean, if you look at that fight, Porter was down by 1 round before he got chinned in round 11. He only was down by 20 punches, and that was the very first time you've seen Spence go backward. But Spence did put it on him for but also getting caught. I'm not going to sit here and say that Bud catches him, he's going down immediately, but he will get hurt. And that's what makes it quite interesting. If Bud can't fight like he did 5 years ago, it's going to be a problem. That's all I'm saying. I mean, right now he's good.
Well, that's what that's sort of the adjustment here. Because I'm just like, we really expect him to do that? It's been forever, man. The guy is 34, 35, whatever. I don't make too big of a problem of his age, but what I do know is that it's going to be hard to be doing all that 5 years later. And your competition literally has stiffened up. Like Earl Spence, due respect to everyone he's faced at 47, that's just not it. Same thing with Errol too as well. You know, not to discount Bud in any way, but I think that's more of a harder challenge stepping up to Errol than Errol doing what he's got to do.
For sure.
So this is why I put all the pressure on Bud and the adjustment, frankly put, because I'm looking at the comments too, and some of the questions and answers you guys are giving about this, you know, what makes them different, talking about Errol. Not much, man. That's kind of his thing. He's a sound boxer. Very, very sound. I used to say many years ago that, look, man, he's a B+ overall. Like, he's pretty much good at everything. You know, I can give him an A grade as well, but not many guys are on Errol Spence's level, man. And then, you know, it's always, I haven't seen him do it. Well, just because you haven't seen him do it, just, you know, that doesn't mean he can't do it. But I think it's what he's doing. I think it's how he approaches the game. And then, of course, I want to give Derek James some credit, too. He listens to that guy. And they pretty much go out there and execute their plan along with adjustments and or getting in trouble. So I really put all the pressure in the wheelhouse of Terrence Crawford. I haven't seen anything that would make me think otherwise than what I keep hearing from the streets, and that's just, he's gonna knock him out. He's gonna figure out a way. He's gonna pull this hammer out of his toolbox. He's gonna pull this monkey wrench out. That may be the case. We will just have to wait and see. But you know, from when I listen to Errol or when I watch Errol's usually prepared for most trouble, for most discrepancies when it comes to his boxing matches, and that's because of why he's built off fundamentals and being very good, being very sound at those things. Can't wait though, gentlemen. Go ahead, Black.
Here's something to think about, you know, because some guys try to use triangle theory. Some people look at past matches. You can probably say you can't do that, but at the end of the day, at some point, I'm thinking that you can a little bit. Not a full triangle theory, but you can look at how they fare, where they're strength at, and where they become weak at. So here's an example. People like to talk about Mean Machine with Bud. Here's the thing with
make sure you guys mute your mics in the background.
I watched that fight 3 times.
I'm Mr. Golf, man.
I watched that fight 3 times, man.
Boxing chat.
Mean Machine was that power. He threw punches. You can look at different fighters, and I like speedy fighters. You know, combat punches, fast punches, like Benavidez, the younger brother who fights at 126. He has very fast combat, fast punches. Mean Machine has crazy speed and throws 3 to 5 punch combinations in a second and a half or two with power. Guys like Errol and Bud don't do that. So when Bud got caught by Mean Machine, that's what he was up against. People might look at Mean Machine and go, he's trash till he lost his next fight. Virgil Ortiz is no chump. I mean, he's an up-and-coming dude. You know, look, Ortiz got hurt in that fight as well. The only reason he won because he had youth and probably a little more heart and more chin, I would say, but Mean Machine put it on him. It's just he didn't have enough. When you look at these fights, Porter, Spence was winning, but the only reason Porter hit him because, he could have hit him more if he was like maybe a little bit bigger with longer arms, but he had faster hands. So when you look at these fights, you want to see, you can see all the stuff that they do good. I like to look at the fine nuances of what catches them. And could that be a problem? You know what I'm saying?
That aggression.
We have a problem with counterpart. Right. We all got favorites of horse in the race, what we like, styles we like. Some people like the Roy Jones style. I grew up on Roy Jones. I love Ray Leonard. I love Ray Robinson. You see there's a pattern with me. I love Floyd. Now, don't get twisted. I respect Julio Chavez. I respect Marvin Hagler. Those are some dogs. Like, Bud has that Marvin Hagler meaning. You don't trash the Bud. Bud's going to go psycho. And that's why I like this fight. I want to see what the face-off looks like. That face-off is going to be awesome. We're going to probably throw up our lunch when we have a face-off. Talking trash to each other. And it's going to be great.
Can we have like a little bit more time? Just a little bit. I said, can we get a little bit more time? I know we're coming up on that 3-hour mark.
We're good.
Hey, can I say something?
Who's that?
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. There's a little nuances down there. That's pretty much it.
Yes, sir. I like that blacksmith.
Like
yes, sir. I'm with that.
I feel like both fighters get stronger as the fight progresses. That's one thing I can say about both fighters. Bud does start to let his hands go in the later rounds. Like we can't sit here and just say he doesn't, because the second knockdown with Sean, he hit Sean with 4 punches. He 4 punches and Sean took that knee pretty much. So that's what happened. I say Bud's best chance is turning arrow and hitting them with straights. Neither one of these guys can move out of the way of a straight hand, whether it's a right or left. I don't care who it is. Both of them get hit with straights. But the best bet, if you're not remotely bigger than arrow, your best bet of hitting arrow is turning arrow and letting the 2 fly. Blinding him with your jab, probe a little bit, turn him and let your 2 fly. You know how Deontay does a little bit? Not comparing Terrence to Deontay at all, but you know how Deontay, he blind Luis Ortiz with his jab, probed a little bit, turned him, seen the opening and let it fly. Arrow gets hit when he gets turned, bro. He gets hit. Like this is being realistic.
Yes, sir.
But
this is real.
At the same time, I don't see Bud doing that a lot. But he could see that. Like he could see that.
He's patient, stay dangerous. He's very patient, very, very patient.
But at the same time, it's hard. But at the same time, so is arrow. People think it's effective aggression. That's just not wasted aggression. That's very, very effective aggression. A lot of times, arrow, he sets up punches 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds down the line. Okay, this is not working. I'm gonna keep jabbing. Then I'm gonna turn this jab into a hook, and I'm gonna still throw this same 2 to the body. And from there, different openings happen. He turned that 2 to the body into an uppercut. And man, this fight's gonna be interesting. But one thing, Bud cannot stand there in front of this man. If he don't turn this man, if he don't move laterally, he's losing.
Why do you say that, though, Stay Dangerous? Why do you say that he can't?
Why do I say that?
Yes, sir.
Because if he stands there in front of Arrow, that means he's most likely going to want to trade. He's gonna stand there in front of him and trade with Arrow, and that's not the fighter to do that with, bro. That's too.
Wait, hold on. You think trading back and forth trading is in Arrow's favor, not in Bud's?
I think so,
bro. Who has he sat there and traded back and forth?
No. Come on, bro. Hold on, bro. We don't.
No, he asked you that question though.
I asked the question first. We don't got to do the who. We talk about them two in the pocket.
Okay. No.
For sure, in the pocket.
Way better fighter than inside fighter than
We ain't talking about no. See, look, you're trading. You're changing the words. You didn't
just
say
said in the pocket. In the pocket is inside fighting.
Brother, hold on. I'm going off what you said. I was quiet. I'm going off what you said. You said trading. Trading is the ability to hit you and you hit me. It don't got to be up close and personal. We're just in each other's range.
What you just said.
No, I'm going off of what you said. You didn't say. Now, if you'd have said inside the pocket, right, forehead to forehead, yeah, that's all
what
day.
you just said.
Come on, G.
Bro,
Come on, G.
Hold on. I was quiet. I'm going off what this man said. Tell me if I'm wrong. If he didn't say, if he's his exact.
Hold on.
No. Hang on, Stay Dangerous. I think he was divulging into his description, but I heard what he said too.
His words verbatim was he cannot stand in front of Arrow and trade punches. Is that not what he said?
Yes, he can't.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
You did, and what you said after that, you said, do
Got
I
a super chat.
there? Okay, go ahead.
Who's that? Terrell W. Earl has been fighting top welterweights since Kell Brook. Bud hasn't fought the same level of competition, and that's just facts. E-Money?
Can I continue with what I was saying?
Yes, and then I want E-Money to respond to that.
So what I was saying is this. Terrence cannot stand there.
Shout out to that super chat.
Terrence stand there in front of Errol Spence. He lost this fight. Who have you seen Terrence stand there and trade with and be successful, bro? And not take, he's taking punches, a bunch of. And do you think those same punches that got landed on him in the previous fights from the people he stood there in front of, do you think he could take those same punches from Errol?
E-Money?
Now, I'm going to be real descriptive of what I'm saying, because if I say one little word, it's going to get switched. So what I'm saying is this.
Are you going to answer that question first, though, sir?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Let me go. What you said, now, if they're trading, I'm giving the nod to Bud. And this is why. Bud has shown the ability. Listen, but now if he was talking about off the course of a fight, I don't see Errol I watch Errol stand in front of Sean. Damn, somebody whistling. Christ, Mike is killing me. Trading with Errol, I think that if they're gonna sit there and trade, I think that goes for Bud, because Bud has shown the ability to knock people down off one shot, and then when they get up, he goes all in on them. I've seen Errol just pound and pound and pound on Mikey for 12 rounds. And then Mikey was returning fire, and it didn't hurt Bud, or it didn't hurt Errol. I watched him and Porter go back and forth. Porter won some of those trades. You can go
real fast.
Watch that.
Real fast, E-Money. You said you like one shot. Is that like one shot knockout power, or one shot that hurts him significantly?
Either way.
Who?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Because I haven't seen Terrence knock out anyone with one shot. I've just seen him hit him with significantly and then pounce on him. That's what I just
answered. I just answered. You asked me a question and I answered it. I said either way, right? So I didn't say one shot knockout power. I'm just saying if I'm in a trade, I feel like that works out better for Bud. I feel like
okay, that's fair.
Can I add this in?
Go ahead, brother.
Got a lazy eye.
How do you figure that, brother? When in the last 3 fights that Bud fought, he lost more rounds than he won.
He was losing those fights. He was losing the fight.
Stay dangerous. Is that your mic doing that, or somebody else's?
It's not mine.
Not sure.
Or I'll go off. Is someone watching YouTube in the background?
No, I hear static on Stay Dangerous. I think
I think it's
when he talks.
I think it's Stay Dangerous. I think when he talks, it's like a static. But what was the question?
No,
I
we were
said,
talking about. Go ahead. Yeah.
What I had said was, in the last 3 fights, Bud has lost more rounds than he's won, bro.
Yeah, you got
He has
static.
lost more exchanges than he's won, bro.
You said he lost more rounds or lost more exchanges?
Both.
I don't think that's true
at all.
It's not true.
No.
He might have lost.
So when you watch this Sean Porter fight, Sean Porter didn't land more punches than Bud. If I pull up box right now,
Bud actually loses rounds, but not that many.
Bud doesn't lose that many rounds.
Let me.
No.
How many rounds did he win against Sean Porter?
That was a close fight. It was about 50-50.
It was not 50-50, bro. Put it up.
I actually think Bud was winning on the card.
No, he wasn't.
Bud was losing, bro. He was down. That's why he turned it up.
You can look it up.
He turned it up because he was told he was losing.
Bolak told him he was losing, and you need to go out there and do something. He was definitely losing on the cards for Sean Porter. Until he
losing the Kell.
Yeah, and that jab was nasty. So I just wonder what Earl jab would look like on him.
But that goes back to what I was saying. For him to hit Errol clean enough for anything like that to happen, he got to turn him. He can't just stand there in front of him. You stand there in front of him, he just asking to get some broken shit, some shit broken on him.
Just a fan. What cards was You're talking about that Bud in the comments there. Just a fan. You're saying he's up on all the cards. What fight is that specifically? Someone in here got mad at something I said. And they're like, "Get Steph B out of here." Oh man.
Can you guys hear me?
Who's that? Yes, I heard that. Whoever spoke.
That's Joe Smo. Yeah, Crawford
Joe
was
Schmo.
winning on all the cards against Sean Porter. I'm looking at it right now. I remember Bomac.
What are the
telling him he was
scores?
Probably the scores were.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true.
No, I mean he's looking at him. So I mean, go ahead, and just tell us.
Uh-oh.
Joe, you there?
Can you guys hear me? It was.
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
He was up 86-85 on 2 cards and 87-84 on the other card.
At what round?
That is new information for me, but I will tell
you. At what round?
I don't.
Up until the stop, right? That's the stoppage, right? Or let me ask this: or are those the cards at the stoppage?
That's what I'm asking. Yep.
But I'm not trying to get too specific about it. I mean,
he had 2 knockdowns that would put those points up. He was definitely losing that fight on the cards. I think, what was it, the 10th round when it was stopped?
Yes.
And if I remember correctly, he was winning. It was maybe it was 6-4.
I don't want to get too lost in the comments, but okay, all right, I'll take that. Well, you know, I'm not gonna lie to you, gentlemen. I just wish they'd go ahead and announce this joint. Whenever, you know, whenever.
Yes,
it'd be nice. That's
all right, man.
We've
been on about 3.5, about 3:15, man. So we'll chop it up again next Saturday, man. It was fun with everybody. Thank y'all for coming. Definitely appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all. I started a little earlier today, man. Y'all want to start it at 9 or something?
I got on like 8 Pacific time. Went on.
Yeah. So it was like 6. It was like so because I usually do. I'll just start a little later last time so everybody can get on a little bit earlier. But all right, man. Appreciate y'all, man. We'll chop it up again next week.
E-Money, appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Stay dangerous.
All right,
brother.
All right,
All right, brother.
Peace.